Boom, boom. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. People them.
Assalamu
Big
alaikum.
up.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yeah, my brother KK. What's going on? Daps.
والله الحمد لله أبو معنا وكوفي عنا أذينا نفتك ورا.
I'm alright, bro. I'm alright. Do you know what? Today, Tribal Tuesday, yeah? And you know what? I want to talk about this, K.
Hey.
You know what, yeah? You seen the Speakers Club on the back
Yeah.
scene. We've been talking about this. This is, furthermore, we've been having this debate back and forth, innit, yeah?
صح.
Qabil talk and all of this. What do you think? What's going on with that?
Qabil talk, I believe Somali Qabil talk is a curse. بين ما كربت بين مزرونته كوشيغو is a curse. أو حبار. تلحق دخل الجري أو عربت أنا كعربتها كفانا عربت وجعلين they bring each other over to خبير كماتا هبل كارو قولي إيماو أنت يا كاسينا أنا كأصلا أزدلونا كيف تسوي أسكو خبرنا.
Why do you think that is though, Mike? Like me and you, we've been back and forth. We do the Qabila thing. We've been doing the Qabila thing. We do it this. Like, I feel like Qabila is always a regular thing in it, yeah. And there's something embedded in us, like I said, yeah. Why do you think this is, man? Why do you think like I always say, I've been saying this for a long time. Adult, that's what we really are.
If you want to describe Somali Ado, look at the Somali. That's the only Ado Somali sees as a Ado. Yeah, and he sees as a Ajnabi walalkisa. Wa dip ankunna hesto or male ake inkaranahay. I don't know where. I don't know what happened to us. I have no idea. What the nyasha laga fano or anaka jared dehono hormoren or anaka qabil ala do socdo. I don't understand that curse. Some of fahmin abu. I think it's a pride thing. Wallah al-azim, I've noticed that even with myself. Sometimes you have to start within yourself in order for you to acknowledge the mistake.
No, I know with myself, innit? With me as myself, innit? Yeah, Runtown one accent, innit? Yeah. I love my Qabil, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
I love my people. I love that Kaya. Then again, I love that Somali that as well.
Sah.
Runtown one accent. Because at the same time, that chalana, innit?
Wallah al-azim.
Is Qabil used in a method where, like, cool, boom. Do you think the struggles we're having right now, is it because of Qabil? I don't think it's because of Qabil. I've been saying this for a long time.
I think we slightly, if I'm really honest with you, I think Somali has moved slightly. And I'm not going to say drastically, but slightly from Qabil to regional war.
The regional war, isn't that Qabil though?
That's another sort of like...
That's Qabil, isn't it?
Qabil.
No, but that's direct Qabil.
Exactly. So you see what I mean? That's exactly what I mean. So indirectly, it's still Qabil. So it's always linked to Qabil because look at it, right? The reason why, and I have to be honest, a lot of people were anti-Farmajo when he went to Gedo or he went to Jubaland because people were saying he's going to protect his people, Marahan people. Because Marahan...
But then again, is that a bad thing though? Is that a bad thing?
It's not. So you see, there's always going to be. You can never be a president in Somalia, and people will never link you to you either favoring your Qabil. It will never work.
So then, are you supposed to disown it then? You can't disown it as well.
Basically, you will always be in a small box. Basically, either you have to choose Qabil Kadi, or you're gonna say, you know what, fuck my Qabil, I'm gonna choose this side, and then your Qabil will gonna hate you, and the Somali people will love you, and the Somali people either will hate you or the Qabil will love you. You're always gonna be in a small box.
So which would you rather be? Would you rather the people love you or your Qabil love you?
Wallahi Abu Ben, Wallahi I start thinking.
That's the question. That's the question.
Exactly. And I start thinking for myself, and I came to the conclusion, Wallahi al-Azim, I'm choosing the Somali people now. Because I'm a big... I know that you don't know me personally. Like in Wallah al-Azim, I know me makan maxana hay o marka qabil isku imaadan. Aado. Or of WhatsApp group or ku jira qabil. Wallah al-Azim, I'm not even lying to you, Abu. Or lacag isku aruuriyo.
Is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. No, it's not. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. But what I'm not proud is when you take Qabil to another level and you start killing each other for it. That's what I don't want. I'm against that. I don't want because you
mean,
and me
so
and you have the
right
same
now,
tribe.
that means truthfully you're against Qabialit, isn't it?
I'm definitely like against Qabialis Abu Ma'an. Definitely. Because look, I know
But then
people
again, if
who
you
are
love your Qabil, you can't be against Qabialit.
no قبيل كيك وجعلها قبيل كيك والله العظيم is my identity. لكن I will never want to choose you and another person because you are my qabil and the other person is not, because even though the other person has more credentials, I don't want to be like that. حق ما هو, it's not حق. يوم القيامة ولو هيسنايا.
But then again, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, Kate Dapper, if you're gonna be real, it ain't that natural though.
Yeah, but I want to move on from it. That's my aim is to acknowledge that we have that and move on from it. Because you have to be honest with each other.
Because I love my color. Alright, say if I love my color and I love Idde, don't mean I don't hate you then.
No, doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean that at all. Doesn't mean that at all. Doesn't mean that at all. No, it doesn't. But what I mean is by أنا حارب ما وقتها أنت أنيق قوله بس في رسنايو أو قوله دو صعده مرك أنيق مدحوينا هاي مثلا مدحوينا هاي مدح وحان maamulka hay wadanka oo Soomaaliya shacabka Soomaaliya ani fiirsanayo ana itiig sanayaan hebel ya qabiil ahaan mil ii doorinin xal ii doortay ninkan waa nin oo wadani oo shacabka Soomaaliyeed matalayo qabiilkigan matalayo shacabka Soomaaliya matalayo. So if I'm in that position, I should be looking at the bigger picture than the small picture. You understand what I mean by that?
But you're not in that position. You're
right
a person
now, but that's what I meant. But people in my qabil were in that position and they were not following that footstep. They were choosing people because I know qabil. Sheikh Sharif, for example, is my qabil. Ali Mahdi is my qabil. And my dad is involved. He was involved in politics. I know people who are in politics and stuff like that. So that favors Qabila favor Al Musimenoya. I'm against it. I have to be honest with you. Yes,
but if you benefit of it, but then if you're gonna benefit of it and you're then you cannot be against it then.
No, I'm against it. I'm being realistic with it. I'm against it. I don't want it because حق موه مفعنا. You can't just say because I'm today in a good position, I'm gonna support it because it's beneficial to me. But
say if it is beneficial to you right now, all right, like you just said right now, you see Ali Mahdi, this person, my uncle, my dad was involved in this government. They bust you through.
Like people were,
but I'm saying if they bust you through on a move or whatever, they give you a little thing or sit in a quarter to high, and they want to see in a quarter shine.
But it has to be a limit. It has to be a limit. If we are just literally basing it on qabil and هنا because of this qabil and كذا of this qabil, I don't like it. I'm now to a level of Somalia where I want everyone to shine. I have to be honest with you, Abu Ba'ad. Some people.
But say if everyone doesn't want that though, this is the thing that you've been going back and forth in it, yeah.
I like that view, but wallah, I really have to be honest with you. I really don't want this tribalist mentality to function anymore. I want a little bit of be proud of your qabil kari.
So then again, say if our Wadden, all right, say if our Wadden has become qabil based, like we can't get away from it, yeah.
Yes.
This can't happen. So hence why do you think some people are like, okay, this is why we don't want Greater Somalia, because Greater Somalia takes away that. Do you get where I'm coming from?
I don't think it will take it away. Wallah, I think the politics first of all, our country first of all is a Qabil country. We cannot deny it. We
can't deny that.
Yeah.
This is one thing. This is one thing that we're all trying to deny.
Now the politics is based on Qabil. We have a 4.5 politician system. If that's not Qabilism, then what is Qabilism? You know what I mean? We have a 4.5. We didn't even give the other people 1. We give them 0.5. A'udhu billah. Half academic. We made them half.
Yeah. So what does that mean though? 4.5. When we say 4.5, what is 4.5 to you?
Wallah, analyze it. Abu Maskahana daqiq ka fikr. Wallah, it sounds mad.
Yeah. Dad waddan ku kula degan 0.5 bucket. You made them less than a half of a person. Because
Exactly.
tolko the mabadna.
That's how sick it is, Khabil. والله العظيم الله سبحانه وتعالى قال وتعارفنا بحاول هلسكو برتو هلسكو ماضو
You already know we don't do that. This is the thing.
No,
you
we don't
already
do that.
know we
We're far
don't
from
do
it.
that.
We're far from it.
So we're far from that as well, innit? Yeah. Don't tell one accent.
Wallah, we're far from it. We're far from it.
This is why I rather say. This is why I made this whole subject Tribal Tuesday talk in it. Yeah. It's runtalas kushago. Look. At the end of the day, if we're Qabilistic Nesta, it's not. Do you really think it's a sad thing? Do you think because it's not used right?
Yes, of course, it's a sad thing. Qabil Kena, you're like, look, the mentality we have in right now, yeah, horumarka ku gaarnay ishay. Wallah al-azim, look at every region in Somalia. Doesn't matter if it's Somaliland or fuckland. I don't care. The mentality we are following right now, horumarka ku gaarnay, is a sad thing, of course, because we haven't.
Okay, cool. I hear you. But say if some people hormone had they garden or hormone be usocdan, and it's free because of Qabialat, because it's good to be him. Is that a bad thing?
Then I want to see the example. Wallah al-alim, I'll follow them immediately.
Because when you say example, what do you mean? When you say example, yeah. When you say example, and hormone, explain to me.
Okay, for example, where I know dad ogtahay oo qabiil badan isku imaadeen qabiil badan, yeah, or everyone is in power.
Well, this is the thing, power. You see, when you say power, not everyone could be in power.
No, I mean power. I mean there has to be power positions. For example, when I talk about I gave you an example last time on a couple of hours ago on this hangout, and I mentioned متحدة إمارات عربية, دنيات العرب Emirates. Yeah, okay. I mentioned them as an example, and you have to really acknowledge it's only 7 cities in the United Arab Emirates. Yeah, every city has one ruler, a sheikh, either a Sheikh Al Maktoum or Al Haliyan or Al Qasimi, whatever they're called. Okay, every region has tribes. They are called the 7 Emirats. They in the capital is in Abu Dhabi, and they come together, and everyone has their own laws in the region. That's when I see people within one country with different tribe coming together and sharing the wealth of their country. That's when I see tribe working. What I see in Somalia is not working. We have people that are dividing. Why do you think there is states in Somalia? Tribe caused it. Darod said, Anika Ismail Mulno. What's it called? Within even Darod, Kawaran, Ogaden said, Anika Ismail Mulno. Galmudug, if you go to Galmudug, Hawiya live there. A lot of Hawiya live there. They said, okay, you know what? We're going to be part of Galmudug as well. Ismail Mulno. That's what. Everyone just differentiated. Everyone.
But then again, you see the word you said, yeah? No, the word you said, yeah,
I'm for it. Viva.
Then again, this is what I'm saying. You should embrace like places like Somaliland, Puntland, Jubaland. This is what I'm saying.
Viva.
The greater Somalia hasn't worked. That means it's failed. Remember, a failed state.
It has not worked. No. We have to be honest. It's not working. Or Wallah al-Azim, the problem with Somalia is because
we're not Hull.
We have this tribal.
No. Let's be honest here. I'll be real. We're not Hull. Mini. Let's just get this. This is the amazing thing. We're Hull. We are. So let's start embracing. We are diverse. We are that Badan Banhi, that kind of scripturing. That if you go down here through the Jazeera, the Somali, from Allah, yeah. Idol Arkansas. That Ad Arkansas, that Somali Arkansas, that Modo Arkansas, that Khalidu egg, that Anigi egg, that Idol. This is not.
No, but I disagree up to you. You know why I disagree? We are actually because you know what? Forget about the ones that have come and migrated to Somalia. If you look Somalia as a one, that is the only place that you can see and actually say in the world وهل وطن وهل ضد وهل لقاء. We might have dialect.
وبين وحاسي أخ ماي باتشنا.
ما no
جيني بالوغلا والله
أويغا
كي
ألفتين أويغا ألفتين واي.
No كي وضد ماشو كل دقن وضد ماشو
But
كل
they came out
دقن.
with their own logo, bro. You know that. You know they came out with their own.
ضد راح وين؟ Okay, راح
But they
وين
came with their
كأخوني ما
own thing.
نقول.
They came up with their own thing. If you speak to them in Somali, they will understand you. It's just the own
No,
dialect.
they've got their own language. After my mate.
Yes, I know, but yeah, no, stuff. You don't understand me, bro. This their own thing. They just came up with it. But at the end of the day, if you speak with them in Somali, they would understand you.
Yeah, because how do you know what
it's like their own thing. But it's not like this represents the Somali culture. You understand what I mean? Like in the Somali culture, it's basically
what Somali up to?
Yeah.
It means not culture واللغات.
واللغات أيضا سمعتها واحدة.
دي ما هي سمعتها واللغات تضعي كوهات لام ولا لا.
ما
dialect.
You know, if you can't ما يختلف أوتومات إن لو Somali اللغة الصومالي اللغة.
What do you mean? No, look what you're saying. My is a dialect, not a language. You dumb.
It's a dialect.
What do you mean? What's the I don't understand it.
It's a dialect.
What do you mean it's a dialect?
It's a dialect. It's not a language.
A dialect's an accent. What do you mean? A dialect's accent.
Yeah, it's sort of like a dialect.
It's an accent. It's not Somali though.
It's not a language.
No, man, bro, you crazy, man. Off my mind. Who understands my mind? Unless you're then type of. I don't understand.
Well, I don't understand it.
If it's a dialect, yeah, okay, no offense, yeah, I can understand a Scottish person. I can understand a Scouser. I can understand someone from Liverpool, Birmingham. That's different dialects. It's the same language.
It's the old,
just talking in a different way.
Sometimes you understand it. Sometimes they say, I don't want
But
to.
my mind is just their own language, man.
Sometimes they
Come
do
on,
like,
bro.
do they not say like Abu Ma'an or
Abdi Noor said it the best, man. Abdi Noor said it the best, man. My mind is a fucking language, man. I don't understand the word, man. It's a whole different vibe, man. It's a whole different language, man. Don't lie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I understand few words they say, but I don't understand totally what they say. No.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that. So is the but
yeah, come on, bro. But for my mind, I think what Leon. This is what I'm trying to say, K. Yeah. This whole notion, yeah. No offense, bro.
Like,
okay, look at the Kuala. The Barwanis, yeah, Chimay. What is Chimini? Chimini, man, look at the Somali Hain.
Yeah.
Chimini.
Chamini,
man. Come on, you know what the Barwani speak? Chimini.
أفرح وين أو يحمل أفرح كلوسا أو يقسم إيه. Well, dialect. I don't know, Babu. I'm not. This is again.
No, it's a language, bro. It's a language. You know what a language is. When people move their mouth, yeah, and they communicate, yeah, and you can't understand it. That's a language, bro.
That's again. Wallah, I looked at the
film. I know Somali one quadla. I didn't know Somali one quadla. So some conformity again. I don't know what going on again. Ma angu shake sana. Labo nimo of Somali quadla. Shimbir shooter, yeah. I do labo from my mind, yeah. Hagan imika sasta again. I would not understand. Kalimat afko the kasa bahaya. Is that a different language?
But that proves that. But you know here. What I said earlier was this. The bottom line in Somalia was this. Even if you
fam, we are not.
Please listen.
No, but this is why you're not listening to man as well, Kia. Listen to man as well, please. Yeah.
Well, I heard you.
Okay, go ahead. You go first. I'm gonna go fight in it.
I heard you 100%. I heard you. You said, "Well, look at the goni."
I've named two Somali languages. I've said two languages in the peninsula of Somalia. Yeah, I cannot understand a word that's coming out of their mouth. And you said Somalia halba yeah. So that can I after like what أنا بحكي لك like I said, we're very mutual, naturally different, my bro. This is right. It's different. Thank you. Ilmi Abdullah Ilmi is right, man. Abtiga.
ما
Abtiga's right, fam. Come on, man. Nico حوشك, man.
ماشي واكو ساعة لكن مركل وفير Somalia هان وهاللقاء لما كان أو هذا إيسو تيرسي مركز الصومال كله هالشيء واكو فهم أيان وحاول أيق
راح وين تد صومالي ما نهين
تد جوني إسكو إمادين تد جوني
لا بكال خالي على كل شيء
أو رير كود بس أو عدة بس واللقط أو أيق أكتر بحث وركاز ماشي ساك بدله ماشي على قبل أي محكمة استنواي لكن if you
اللغات
are
ما
talking
نحن
about the
هذا.
bottom line of Somalia is one language or Somali.
Nah, man, there's multiple languages, boy. There's Chimini, there's my that Afghani be quite long. Af manahain. Af language luqad is Afghani.
If you do the statistics right now, what are they? They're mainly their own tribes.
Maxay? Da xagee digan yihiin dadkani?
Exactly.
Dadkani waayo.
It's the main people. It's the main
Raxan
village,
weyn maana dad Soomaali ahayn though. Anigi nu eegi Hussein. Hussein from Australia is Raxan weyn.
It's not like a Mamai went all the way down to Berbera. It's not someone speaks in Mamai in Berbera. It's not like Mamai has spread around. It's one particular people that speak it. Is one particular area.
Yeah.
There we go. So what I'm saying to is one people that came together and came up with there. Well, I was actually watching some documentary. There's a city called Merka underneath Mogadishu. The guys were Yemeni or Somali. Okay, back in the days, Imadan. Yeah, well, Barwanis or Hamar or what I don't know. What they would classify themselves. Wallah al-Azim, they had their complete different language. But the reporter, the way he was when he was talking to him, in Somali and he was responding in Somali. But then when they were talking with each other, complete different language. So I can't. This is Somali culture. Yes, niman ukta or that bother man school then or that migrated in the country. They came out with their own dialect. Fair enough. But that does not represent the main language of the country. The main language of the country is north, south, east, and west is Somali.
Yeah, like I said, it's not their main language, but there is languages in the country that people speak.
But
so when you're saying Somali, yeah, all right, cool. Let's go back to our original little argument right now. Yeah, it's
discussion.
No, it's a discussion. Yeah, all right. Thank you. Discussion. Thank you, Kate, for correcting me. Discussion. You're saying more than a halbi. I beg to differ, my brother. I beg to differ on that one.
Okay.
The multitude of that, again, different cultures, different dagan, and even different afbala. Yes or no? I like this sister said, yeah, you know Halima Ninja sometimes her own statements waffle. Her own statements. That's what I don't understand about this girl, bro. You know
either Otala. Don't let her do her thing. But what I ask you something right now, let me ask you. You said we have different cultures. To what extent have we different cultures? I would really want to like to analyze it because from step to step, that would make sense in my head. Because I think or matter or
no, I say all right, not different cultures. We have different.
I will ask you this question because Tula the Aniga, my Hana Harer Ukta matter or Hammer or Tula came out of the El Biado. Yeah. El Biado. Elbi knows it. Elbi's family know it. Stuff like that. Yeah. What I'm saying is, there we're pretty village people there. Yeah. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. I think we have the same culture. When I go to Berbera or Hargeisa and I go there for visit, I would think I will still feel home. I don't think I will be out of touch.
What? Okay, cool. Maybe different cultures. Well, all right, cool. I understand. But I'm saying different ways of culture. Maybe you Somali, maybe we're not really, because there's certain things in Mogadishu and the south here you don't see in the north, and there's certain ways in the north you don't see in the south.
Yes.
Is that
lifestyle?
Would you say lifestyle or culture?
I say lifestyle.
It's different. Would you say like culture. I'm saying there's multiple culture, but you know there's
culture like we have
there's 13 like regional games that different people play in different regions.
In the north, for example, or in the south, yeah, we have music that play. We have the same style of music. We have the same style of poetry. This is our culture. When I say living, for example, yes, when I say dialect, you say, for example, in the North Somalia, you say Bakhti, yeah? Where I would you would, I know that means it's switched off. For me, if someone says to me, I will say, Hisbullah wa ni'mal wakeel, ya dinte. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that. No, then again, that's that. You know what that is? That's dialect. You know what you and
exactly. It's a banter thing.
No, that's dialogue, you know. Yeah, you see, that's dialogue. Yeah, but like when I'm saying, we've got different people in our Wadden Kenya, in our peninsula. Afghani Bekushekistan, Maladi Karyo. Like I'm saying, my and stuff like that and Chimini, I don't understand that, bro.
No, me
Like,
either.
dat kan Somalia كله دشين. وانا قد denk ik كله دقيني.
Yeah, but if you really go back into the history, like if we really analyze the history, what their tribes, I think is mainly their own tribe that speak it. I remember one time when Sheikh Sharif Sheikh Ahmed came to London, to Mamai, live a lot of Mamai people. Apparently, they live with Hawiyas, they live with Abgas, they live with Hawirgides. So a lot of Abgas, they actually somehow I realized know how to speak Mamai dialect as well. So he was speaking Mamai to them. Allah he was on this. I was listening to him saying some Mamai words, and it's a dialect. I think is out of respect to their culture, what they came up with. Is their people, is one people. Like still believe that bottom line, Somalia language were all around Somalia. You can go all around. You can even go to Garissa, all the way down to Garissa.
Yeah, we got global thing. Yeah, I'm for me.
Even
only
Djibouti, you can go to Djibouti. You can in speaking. Last time I was hearing the president of Djibouti, Umar, speaking just some normal Somali to all his Djibouti people, just normal Somali. So I think Somalia, wallah, is doing big, but I think the tribe is killing us.
See, even Ilmi understands. Ilmi and Halima Ninja are going back and forth right now.
Ilmi is saying Halima, there's language is different. You would not know if they were talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's a language. Of course. If
that's
Halima,
not a dialogue.
Maybe Halima is just being stubborn. Halima, you have to sometimes give in
you have to give them mandate. This is what I'm saying. This is the part of the Qabyal. Man can't even acknowledge and say, you know what, brothers and sisters, they do really speak a different type of lingo.
They do.
I know. No, it's not even a قفل. لما قفل ما هذيك كل شيء كيسان يعني.
والله ما فهم يسي.
وراح وينه؟ أنا قلنا إنه راح وينكم مسكوا إجنينه.
والله عشان لا هدو المساعدة لا هدو ما فهم يسي.
You're not gonna understand shit. You're not. I like me from like. I know. قف هرجيس كي يقول ده شيء.
But you might understand one word or two words.
Yeah. 1 or 2 words maybe. That's about it.
والله عادي you might understand. Even والله عادي rare hammers when they speak. Sometimes I have to really listen. Because it's the way they but I'm still standing with the bottom line is that everywhere in Somalia, if you speak Somali,
so okay, would you say was it bad that Radio Somalia cancelled my mic? They said you can't speak that on the radio. Was that a bad thing? A couple of months ago, Radio Somalia cancelled speaking my mic. Was that a bad thing?
No. I don't believe that. Why? I don't believe. Well, I'm not a big fan of censoring people. Wallah al-Azim. I need to say, despite of how I come across, I'm really, wallahi, for everyone. I really love all my Somali people, wherever you are from. I'm for everyone being able to express themselves, everyone being able to have a vote in Somalia. What did I know? Wallah al-Azim, you know there are Wallah, the Somalis who always say Jareer. Wallah, you know what? They are the people who are fighting for us in Somalia right now. Wearing the green army clothes. اقسم بالله العظيم هذه وقتها او ماشي على وين university credit.
Yeah, but then again, cause they're not fighting for me.
No, not you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the general public. When I'm saying this, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about
but this is K. This is why we've been going back and forth, and I think you and Marley Moore in the hangouts have been going back and forth in it. Yeah. When you talk, you always say, you don't consider some people don't have the same sentiment as you. How does that make you feel?
I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about myself.
No, but Kate, let's bring it back here. Obviously, let's tie this whole argument.
I'm talking about how I feel about Somalia and everything. I'm not representing any region.
Yeah.
No,
but you see, do you think it? All right. Sorry. Dapper, yeah. Listen to this. Yeah. Right, sometimes we've been going back and forth. I'm not gonna lie to you, people in the chats. Yeah, it's been going crazy on the the Speakers Club, little hangout group that we have. Yeah, and it's just been going nuts. Well, it's been going nuts. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. So even now today, I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do this stream. And Let's just have it out in it. And let's just speak it out. Let's speak it out for Mother Somali. The links in the chat. Anyone that wants to jump in. But Kay, I'm gonna be honest here.
naagtan iska daag soo gal meesha.
Soo gal man. Barihan I don't know. Listen, this is what I wanted to speak to you about in it, yeah? Okay, that part. Do you have a problem with Somaliland?
No, of course not.
It rubs you off the wrong way.
No,
and I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
Talk to me the other day, because me and you went back and forth.
I want to be honest. I will tell you the truth up to man. I will tell you the truth. Wallahi, wabillahi, watallahi. Ilahi mag isma amsanta horta.
Yeah, come on, you know me, man. No murtad.
Wallahi, wabillahi, watallahi.
We're murtad free right now, innit?
ثم والله اقسم بالله العظيم ورب الكعبه انيقا Somaliland والله العظيم ولا عليها واركا. Okay, that's one thing you have to understand. والله عليه الشعب كي والله العظيم. Even you said last time I was joking, but اقسم بالله العظيم even my nephews or والله they half landers and half ابقال والله لا.
That's no problem, man.
That's not true, that's a fact. So اني والله العظيم وارجعلها. لكن what I fight for is that everyone comes together. That's one me and you disagree. Wallah al-Azim.
But this is the problem. I think, Kay, you don't understand and you don't listen sometimes, yeah?
You asked me a question and I answered it, but I don't think you believe it.
No, what do you mean? No, it's subjective, Kay, man. At the end of the day, I know you're not a brother with hatred, the fuck Muslim Batai, Somali Batai, Walalkin Batai, you know the ones in it, all like, yeah? And I don't mind having a terror. Me, you, Ahmed T, we always go back and forth. Even Ahmed T the other day and the brother Hussein from Australia, like I'm saying, the Rahawin brother, I had to, I've never seen Ahmed T shut up in a debate.
Yeah.
The other day, I'm seeing it, I was like, all right, cool. Yeah? It was very interesting. I swear, if he's listening, I want him to come on. Everyone gets a day in it. I thought, what Ahmed T got moved to on that? You know them ones, innit? Yeah, Hussein kind of Iniki. So, but this is where I come from. Every time it's like we mention Somaliland, it rubs you. It gets you somewhere. I don't know. It's just not you. Maybe it's a lot of the sides or the blue sides. Do you feel like we are adult towards the unity team?
No, I think what rubs me the wrong way, and I will really tell you is when I have decent conversation. Well, you don't even know that most of my friends are landers. You'd be shocked to know that most of my real dear friends are actually landers.
Yeah, but all racist people say that. All racist people say that, man. You know, all racist people say I got black friends and I got tribalistic friends and I got this type of friends. I got a lot of Daro friends and. Have you broke up? Say that again, bro. Say that again, bro.
Where is Medina? First. You just went left because I said I have Isaac friends. You said a racist says it. That's
not all racists say that, man. Come on, all Kabilis are racist saying I got a black friend, I got a Chinese friend, I got a Darod friend. You know, all people say that, innit, man? Come on, man.
Come on. I'm telling you this, right? What rubs me the wrong way is when I hear from the North brothers, Somalia hakarho, Somalia was shithole, Somalia hadudumo, Somalia. You see your uncle. Well,
it disgusts me. It disgusts me. Double K.
Yasin, all of the whole.
Your mic is fucked right now.
Wallahi.
Yeah, your mic is going crazy. This is me, everyone. Your mic is going nuts. Let him come back in. Halima loved that. You know the one. Abdullah is busting. I'm like, You know the ones there. Come on, we already know. Come on, don't do any of that. What's not going on, innit? Come on, man. It's like when you, and obviously, have you ever heard a racist? But the other day we were on Somali speakers. I don't know what happened. I've got a Somali friend. I was like, so what? Who gives a fuck? I know how can I kahanaqa. You know where I'm coming from. Yeah, well, Sub-Sahara, that's true, man. We need to. This is what I'm saying, man. We need to do something like Botswana, man. We need to nationalize things, resources, uplift people, spend lighting on what's it called? On education, healthcare. You know them ones. Well, a lot of infrastructure. I really think they I don't think Madialet get out of the window, fam. I really say economically, gotcha than a high qabyaaladii waxaan. Yeah, I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna play the video, my bro. Yeah, Halima said that. Yeah, no, do you know what it is, sis? Yeah, I hear that, sis. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. Big up, Dapper's back anyway. Yeah, Daps is back. Halima said, "Yo, you both need to tread carefully when you're speaking about different tribes. Yeah, both you're good brothers still. Yeah, no, sis, I understand, but how can we speak about different tribes in a positive light, in a positive
But
manner? That's what I'm trying to say.
cussed any tribe. في حليم chill out. أنا هل tribe ملعاني ماشان. We haven't
No,
said
I
anything
understand where she's coming
disrespectful
from.
about any tribe.
No. You know, the thing is, yeah, I think, yeah, there has to be, you know, some type of Qabil sensitivity. Qabil regardless, do you get where I'm coming from? If you're not that
And if
Qabil, you're not going to reach it.
but going back to that thing, yeah, going back to that thing, right? What
Yeah.
I'm going back to that, right? What I'm against is Niman or well, I have to be honest with you, my brother Khalid, a lot of people who come on your platform, unfortunately, are from the north side, really spread hatred towards Somalia. I have realized. oo maalad kugu wacdinooyaan Soomaaliya ha qarxo Soomaaliya ha burburo Soomaaliya oo maanta qaraxa ka dhacay alhamdulillah. You have sick mind people who are like Mali, whatever they call themselves, who are this who are there. aniga walaalahayga aa ku dhintaa meeshaas oo Xamar is the place who they are promoting oo la qarxiyo. Xamar is the place where there's always getting hit. It's not Bosaso, it's not Garowe, it's not Kismaya, it's not Hargeisa, it's not Bur'o, it's always Hamar. So it's always easy to throw that card out and say, we are Nika wa Qabilist. Nimanka o Naayno yan, Mulu Jedo, Nimakan o Qarash, Faqash, Ay, Aflagado, dad la dilaayo oo dad dhinteen oo lagu qaslayo mulu jeedo malaa'ig ma akwaan in marka la jawaabo waxaa tahay qabiilist. Doesn't work like that. Alhamdulillah, niman waxaan u akhli leh oo u jeedno wax fakri oo fakri waa loo jeedaa oo wax fakri waa loo jeedaa. waxaan ogtahay racist iyo black married iyo xasma ma garanaa aniga. يعني أنا قرنا نمن أو صومالي أو أي قبيل أهاو إساق أهاو دارود أهاو هبي أهاو شغال أهاو
Yeah, but then again, Khalid, yeah, but Khalid, do you think people like that? Yeah, but do you think people like that? Khalid, you see people like that, yeah? Obviously, I've been, well, me myself, you know what? Even you yourself, you accused me, my G, of being a Qabilist guy.
When it's due time.
No. You don't accuse me. Look, all I've said is I have a Darod phobia government. Phobia. You know what a phobia is? A phobia is when you're frightened of something. Do you get where I'm coming from, Kate? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Because I always people like, you know, I always love to repeat myself. I was born during them times. I've had people, you know, we had to pick them up. Dulka, you know, Dulka Kudik again. And this is air raids, you know them ones, my brother. And maybe to see like, okay, tit for tat, yeah. Do you feel like, you know, when people say, oh, Somaliland don't exist, I ain't considering that Tahin, I ain't you're trying to idle Batin. How do you lot think? How do we feel when we hear these sentiments? How do you feel like when we feel like, you know, when we try to, you know, on a Somali, the Ugargaro, and have you seen? It's not even that, you know, Maka Somali, when I try, you know, do, you know, charity or you know, spend good positive times and put out links and say, you know, my hand on the high side, and me and a sister get told, you lot are Somalilanders, bond you lot. It's live on the chat, we're like, raw. How do you think that makes us feel?
No.
When we hear that.
Abo, feel. قف مركز جاهل وياهي جاهل كمال دو السعودة أو جاهل مركب مال دو السعودة مسنين أو إسبح فهمايو أو كرامي الشخصية له نمن أو جاهل أو بحكرنين أو فقش هل يسوى أفترين please. I'm not gonna talk about this kind of people. نمن كاز وإلهي أو وجوده مركا تهاي نمن أو قبيل دقيقة كستعانا يا عداك وتعالى aniga waxaan ka hadlayaa oo aniga maanta liidihi karo wad nin isaa qorteeda lagu dili karaa because Soomaalima uu nacbanahay never in my entire life waa walaalkayga oo isku diiganahay iyo waa wadankeena oo
Okay, your mic's doing that mad thing again, bro. Okay, your mic's doing that crazy thing again. I don't know why it does that. Still shaking.
It's the latest iPhone as well. They all the fuckery money for nothing.
You know what is it? iPhone and StreamYard, I don't think it works, you know. I don't think this platform and StreamYard, iPhone, I don't know, there's something with iPhone. Come back in, Kate. Jump in, jump back out. Your thing's there, mad. Yeah, you know what it is? This is a good question. I want to ask if we could speak about past actions by clans with this is the thing. This is where it gets sensitive. See, when things like that, how can we talk about it and say, you know what, all right, was it clan based? Like this brother, I don't know if a brother or sister, you asked a good question there. That is a good question. Yeah, this is Sub-Sahara asked a good question, yeah. What connects Somali ethnicities? Deen to Islam. I'm not gonna lie to you. Wallahi, Deen to Islam. You know, the Murtads will hate this, innit? Yeah. They will say, nah, Somali no more. This is a perfect example of what me and Kay are talking about right now. Somali no more, we hate the shit out of each other. Like, we've been indoctrinated to fuck and hate the shit out of each other. Suhum. You've asked me a powerful question. The only way I can answer that is through Deen to Islam. Because it's happened on my panel a couple of times. Like, one time I remember we were on the panel. Who was it? I don't know. It was Dusty, Galoncho, brother from Canada. There was bare of us. We were going back and forth. We were going nuts. I think one of the Somali, what's it called? The Somali, I'm just going to start calling the Somali Islamophobes must have come on the pitch in it, you know? Deen Tubu Sahalaka. Next minute later, we had New done. So I'd say Islam. I'll say like the beautiful religion of Islam. I think connect every one of us together, deep down inside. Because majority is if they're fearing Allah and they like Sanayan. That's what I think. That's that for me. That's my answer. I don't know. Anyone else can answer, but that's your boy K Sub-Sahara. That's my answer there. But yeah. Hey K. Adapt.
Yeah, my broski.
Sub-Sahara asked man a good question there. What connects what connects all Somali ethnicities? I said Deen to Islam. Deen to. Thank you. K knows. K knows. We've done this bare times on this panel.
Khalid have warned so much about politics. Like as soon a fucking
Somali Murtad
comes up, we become one.
The Somali, what it says, the Somali Islamophobes.
Oh,
you know the Somalis.
As soon they come on live, but we you become akhi.
Everyone does. Everyone does. I think, like, really, truthfully, like, someone.
What I'm against is when I'm against those false people who are providing Al Shabaab as a Islam. The Deen, Deen to or Walal Kadi.
Come on. Little man does that. That's little man. That's little man's favorite tactic. Little man will say Al Shabaab. They're Muslim.
That's what Deen told.
Deen tech and you know them man there, innit? Them funky youths there.
They see us Galo.
Yeah.
Al Shabaab see us as Galo. So how am I gonna have an argument or discussion with someone who sees me as a Gal?
Yeah. No, man. Ban all of that, man. We're done with the Murtad team anyway, man. Let them man cover. Let them man because you know what it is, they don't talk about Somalia or Nag, nothing else in the Wahikard land. Some bullshit like Deen to Islam for Sabudia. But it's the perfect question. You know when my man asked, man, yeah, what can unify us? It's the Deen to Islam. Well, once we put that and boom.
Well, Deen to Islam can unify us a lot because had the
feeling. But if it's happened on the panel, I'm not gonna lie. Before you jumped in, a couple of months before you, if you go back, I'll send you the stream privately, innit?
Yeah.
You see, it's on Qabil man into the whole panel. There was about 10 of us. Wallah so big, like 44 balukala behind it. Wallah so high. It's one of them was
Somalia. Wallah, if this would be Somalia, we'd have probably killed each other a long time ago.
Yeah, and it was just crazy, innit? Yeah, and then boom. One of the Murtads said, what about Deen to Musa? What was it? Damal, you know the ones here. Deen to Musa Halakad, innit? And it was like, what? But listen, I got a little video. Little 10-minute video. Come back in, Kay. Charge your phone. Charge your phone. I'll come back in and watch this little video. Yeah, Ilmi has to jump on. after this. He has to jump on, fam.
والعلمي سوقر بعد
I heard علمي for
chat warrior
time.
نقول don't be a chat warrior.
You got a mod for no reason, innit? علمي about video gonna start today. Hit up the mute, my brother Kate.
اسبي كان محاولة تقانا اسبي
اسبي
هو حاضرين اسبي
وي بس سلامي
ويبيس سلامي
نبيد ما أقول شيء هاي كوريكم هم يبدو
كورينكم هم ودي بدي
أنا من كان يبيس كلا
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته كسر هذا القناة كان أحمد اف جو اوفيشال آدي أبدو سلامتنا أصحابتي الغالية ميل وبدو دوينها كجوتان ما أنت أي مقال عصب ما أنت واحد يدو وضع برنامج بايه ورايد كده بيسي برنامج كاسين فيها سؤال بدون أنت أنا برنامج كده حقلين ما أنت عارف في الفيديو كلا حب ميل بيران نحفظ لنا كم حان عنك
ودي عنوني
يا مركب حلقة قبل كده ملهن ميل وبدو دوينها كجوتان سود وهذا لنا قلبه ونكسب سود وهذا waxaan idin wadnaa maanta barnaamijkeeni aad horeba nooga barateen ee ahaa lahjada barnaamijkeeni lahjada ahaa maanta samayn doonaa wuxuuna ku bixi doonaa reer waqooyi iyo maymay xataa luuqado kale haddii aad rabtaan oo kale commentiga nagula hadli doontaan waa idin soo samayn doonaa waxaa la fadhiya fanaankii weynaa fanaankii weynaa waa nala fadhiya marka fanaankuna youtuber weeyaan soo dhawaad leenahay commentigaad ku arki doontaan ma aragtay linkigiisa marka please inaad Axmed FJ ka socotaan soo muujiya from Axmed FJ na u soo qor Allah isagana FJ ka soo socotaan sheega Allah isag goobtiba diiwaan idin ogahay Allah idin shafaale meel walba adduunka ka joogtaan marka hadal badan haama buuxsho waxaan samayn doonaa barnaamijkeena iska bilaaban doonaa barnaamijkeena wuxuu ku bixi doonaa sidaan hore idin ku sheegnay luqadda meemeyga marka waxaan samayn doonaa bal meemeyga dadkan ku yar salaam
way bis salaamay
ويبيس سلامي
نبيد ما أقول شيء هاي الحمد لله
الحمد لله أوه ماي جاد ولا لو قد حتى قلنا كتير
تاسوي
قرادة واحد يقول جرمانها لو قدم والله أدوات على إنهم برتوات على لكن خسر كأي ما أنا مكان نقول ما دام سلامت أصحابته وكاق هذا بل ما حد كل هذا مفصل
أنا وحن هاي ما في عندين عتمات كيني كورما أرلد الشيء لقى هاي arlada waxa la macnaa deegaanka markaas ugu nool
yahay yes dadka nimanka ingiriiskiina af ingiriis iyo af Soomaali ku kala hadlayna mood doonaan marka alla ay wax la qaban kara malahan ana waxaan ku soo weydiinaa ku bilaabanay barnaamijkeena macawiis maxaad u taqaanaa
macawiis furna
furun shaxmi yalan furun anagu waxaan u naqaanaa hada helada ana furunkan la cuno rootida
ka tacaalu da furun rootida waan furun afma maayo
furun kaliya furun to hanfade وحمية لا ماشي
فرنتنا رواوي شيء
فرنتنا سي فرنت اسم حاس كده وذا فرنتنا هفضاء ومع
رواوي ومجني
يا
ومجني
واي waxaan ku soo weydiinay aniga haddana bal anaa ku socon doona waxaan ku soo weydiinay gudun bal ifaansi gudun tan waxa weyn geedaha lagu jaro afkeeda saasanada yaambadan hay dib yaambadan ha u dhiibo dawada kana
The reason I love using StreamYard, well, that's easy. I can make Chris Brogan, I can make a show like the Backpack Show where I have a co-host.
yaambadan ay dib baladam ya
hayndib
wallahi waxa laga qaban karaa malan bal isoo weydi adigana inaan kugu dhaamano way dhici kartaa kurinkun miya kurinkun ham u dibaday
ana min kan yabis kala wada
عنقين ودي بدينا والله بالله تلا ماشي برشة كسعة الساعة بالو كلا برندنا لو قدن واي كورينكم هادي ما يدن بقى أقوان
ألم تعرف ده
ما عاد هذا مكان يا
ألم تعرف ده
ما
أنا قبرت هذا لو شايف
أوكي قبرت محاس كي قبرت ده
حاول ده حاس محلات قبرت وحلوي قناة وداني عندي
أنا والله مدام قناة قبل ده وحنا قناة هنا تندلي
أوكي
iyo waxaan kala naqaanaa yani xaaska qabo
أنا
gabadhaydii haddaan ku dhaho xaaskaygi way noqonaysaa
أوكي
naagtaydii way noqon kartaa oo dumarka badan kama jecla taas waxaan ku socon doonaa luqadeen waxaan ku soo weydiinay aniga hanqabad kan birta canje ma garanaysaa canjeerada lagu dubo la dul saaro hataa bil canjeera anagu ma naqaano daawo aan u naqaano
daawo wax fiir camal inuu daawo waxan
ma hada laakiin anagu saasaan naqaano
okay ana waxaan u naqaanaa bil canjeerada
u taqaanaa miya والله بالله لو قد ماشي وحلا قبل كان هاي بنسوي دارين
waxaan ku weydiinaa laxoox على
لحاح وين
لحمه
لحاح هذا العنصر
شلو عنا لحمه العنا
لحى
الواح مالعنا الواح
لا حدد اني ونك هو
اللحوح هذا اللحوح الواح
كنه والو روانيه
ما يا اللحوح
قردها والله
دي معناها اللحوح
يا لحوح لوح مسلحح
اللوح يلحوح ماشي لمو
إن هذا واشاد قلت لك شل لحوح أنا ويتنا عنا نغنى
كاس عنجيرة الله عنجيرة شيء
Oh my God نيرني كمان ما يزعلني بالواي واحد يسوي الدين يعني
أوكي وحنا كويدين ما أولين يدوريو
أولين هندوريو ماشي تعرف ما كسعة ساعات تقارير
أولين يدوريو
والله بالله قرما صح انا افكر ما قرنا بليس
اوكي لا بخلين كلها علوشة حنوش
اوكي اولي دان waxaan naqanaa kuwan ololayaasha iyo magarasa xisbiyada iyo loo ololay
ugu gidnaatin ololayaha fadee war cilmiga hoos wax kumaale iyo alif wax kumaale waa naqli jiray waa soo noqonaa
war garan ma yada fasiraadada laga
way arido
fasiraadada laga baahay ololada aan guday
okay hadda waxaan ku dhahay arido batay waxay ka mid tahay وريرو من تحت هذه
تي ما كورت هذه ودي سمحان معناه
يا
تي هذا ودي
قولوا لي افضل
محايد معناه
قولوا لي افضل وحواي علوش اريق مار ما لو
اوكي علوش وين علوش العين تري
سام قولوا لي
وصاحبني ومش عمل يلان لو قد waxaan u socotay in baan caadi ahayn barnaamijkeena waa dhex mishaaxana bal waayaan waxaan ku soo weydiin doonaa maxaa ku taqaanaa yani showkanta
شوكان
شوكان waxaa la tan steering baa loo aqaan badanka laakiin showkan ma naqaan
okay taas waa soo wadnaa شوكان
showkan waxa weey tan gaariga ku taalaada
ma ana waxaan naqaan showkanta kore ana shirkan kore oo kale baa soo shirka laga maqoro
showkanta kore miya showkanta bane والله
بناني
انما عادي marka waxa dareemay showkanta macnaheedu ma laakiin u baahan tan darawalka wado showkan waxa la tan steering maxaa macnaheedu
steeringa dadka darawalka anaga waxaan dhahay showkanta hafaday meesha xamay la showkanta hafaday iska dabaashaday alla ciise waxa laga qaban kara malan dadka arido surum indagaagto
haysi balaadan sheekhay maxaa
arido surum indagaagto
arido surum indagaagto
معناه waxaan ku dhahay yurub istaagka dhaqaaqinada
wadniyo dadka saaxiibadan ku dhex noolaana caadi waa isku wareer la wallahi billahi
hadda tusaalo markii maaymayga oo dhinac loogu soo baxo hatta waxa macquul ah Soomaalida qofku hatta isfahmi weyn
war waa kala duwan
maayga iyo luqad badan waxa jira Soomaali ahaan boqol luqad waxa tusaalo hooyada magaca ku cad
hooyada maamo hooyo bas
اوكي بنادري مركي وكاد لان سو قبطو امايي وما هبرتي
لكن عيب يعني
هذا عيبك هذا
عجوسدي وحاسب
اسا هبرتي جاهبوي بس وعنو
ويدي بعاني
وعنا يا ابا كسوي ابا ام باس لادي
لكن ابا حق مدى نقله او محا اوغي
اسكلا ابكو انا اوو ميشان ابكو له اييد او كلا اييد دال داتا يا انا
نمك جايين داتا ودني وقال لي قلت الشيخ بالوايد
تسال اوديغ او كلا ابو اسكدي ابابو لبا اسل اسكلا
اوكي ابابو يا ابابو ابون بالمين اوكي هل من كويدينيا waxa ku dhax socon doona wali luqadeeni maymayga imko kala haddii aad qof ku tiraahdo telefonkii baad iga qaban weyday bal markaan ka dhex baxno su'aalihi maxaa afmay ku dhahay
iyo telefonka ma uga waas
ما هو قبويس من السؤال كان عادي فهم ما تلفون كم حاجة قوي
لكن وكل جديد وكمان والتلفون حقيقي قويس التلفون ما هو قبويس
أنا بالتلفون كأنه كوكلا كورنا نيكو أنجرا عن كده نيكو كوكلا أنجرا
حتى تسأله
ninka waan garaac macnaheedu horta ma garanay ninka waan garaac
maxaa garaac
ii garaac uu ku dhahmay telefoon
soo garaac telefonkii ma garaac
ma garaac si telefonkaaga lambar ii waxbay ka dhigan
ii garaac
reer waqooyi saas oo qan
ninka ii garaac ninkan ii garaac
ama
gabadha ii keenay feeraha mutmaayo tusaale hadda macnaha qisir hore oo dhacday jirto waxaa sheekiisna nin reer waqooyi iyo nin maamaay marka ninkan reer waqooyiga meelaha iskugu imaaday masaajid albaabkiisa uu arkay ninkan oo daashid u taalkii oo maamaayga ahay saaxiibkeyga maanta dhan wuxuu ilaahay weydiisanaya shood xaniin xaniin soort marka saaxiibkey wuu dubtay kii reer waqooyiga ah wuxuu iska jeestay ducadiisu u jeestay asiga ducadiisna waxay kooban tahay ilaahow ina jaamac ina roodha gaari gudaahay iga soo qaad ilaahow ina sabaaxay iga soo dibaab kana maanta wuxuu u celinaa.
That's what I really love about Vimeo. There's just a diversity of creatives that we can tap into. We'll get briefed internally on a trip and then figure out the best partners to go capture that story. If I'm looking for an animator, if I'm looking for a DP, it's an easy search.
إلهو شو ضمنين من سيسانا وأنت إنجيل صار وريه الله شاكا ورا محل ما عندنا معنا سي شو حنين ودي نكان قاري
مش شو حنين ود سنة هنيك نوع بتاع
نكان وقت تعيش نوع قاري يودي قاري صباحي فوقي إنه سامع لي وفيديو ساعتي والله وريه يعني مشغول علي بقى وحوين ويدينني وحي وحتى ما يشوطوها نيل فده استعجيك الموج كسر
والله
ما كاسو حلو ويديسنا شوط حنين وعيالك وكسر
اوكي waxaa
luqada marka tusaalo Soomaalida markii loo hadda banaadiyay
isku daalay
maamaayda waxyaalo badan oo dhaxay
asxaabta dhaqaaliga horta barnaamijka waa barnaamij waqti badan soo jira aadna aad u jecleedaan waqti badan aad u qaadateen marka sidaa ka daalid maanta waxa wada qaadan doona barnaamijkeena in yar baan imika ku dhex socon doona ka bacdi waa soo xiri doona marka sheeko la yaab lana saaxiibkeedii ka sheekay laakiin wallahi marka run la sheego luqado aad iyo aad bay kala duwan barnaamijkana iska dhaaf idinkee aniga xataa luqadan muqdisho lagaga hadlo dhan ma aqaanani waa haddana waan ku bartay nimankoo kale cambuulo iyo gel anu waxaan naqanaa cambuulada baashi digir baan naqanaa
cambuulo
harikoo ma taqaanaada harikooga hargeysa laga cunaa harikoog waxa weyn cambuulada iyadoo caddaan ma jirta maana inta la sameeyo sida bibiyo maraqoo kala waa laga dhigaa ka bacda waxaa lagu cunaa
may horta harikoo waa cunaan waa bana arkibo لأن هالجيسان يان حيت مدبرون كنولا
صح
فول معانا جرو هيكو جرو مقايلهم حاجته هوين كيساميل 24
يس والله أنا قاعد كيسوي كمان مقاعد الساميل اللي كرنا ما قرنا مستمع كيسور جد واحد سويدين دونا هي الطار واحد سويدين دونا كبعد البرنامج كان صحيح دونا إما كانوا كلا أفهم ما قال لي أنت محل وقنا لين لين تا أقسمنا لين وين ما
لين اللي قال
أوكي أوضح أنا حاطقنا halkan naga xigo kala la asigu naga dhacay maxaa taqaanaa fiora afbama fiora lan ka faday fiora kun faday wala ka faday
fiora mega gadas tawan
garnay ma qaad galaysa markaas kan maxaa la taqaanaa isbi وحادري اسبي ما تقنا
اسبي والله
حسبي يعني حسبي وطني وحسب
وطني جاي كنت اسبي دي ما بشر
نبضي انه تلا حسب
نيو اسبي دي ويك ورديها
حسبي واحد سبحان الله ويا اوكي بحال تقنا انا كلا شار كانوا كلا شار
والله وركم يا جداس
وركم مودي جداس والله laga qaban kara malahan marka asxaabta qaaliga waxa oranaysa subscribe ii saara waan idin salaamaya meel walba adduunka ka joogtaan muuqaalkeena quruxda badan wada qaadanay aad afkiin ku oran doontaan maadaama ku gartaan dadka meemeyga ah ee
waysi salaami asxaabta imijay meel walba rutiin midkii noolaadi caafimaad anigu waysiin jecel kal ilaab I love you si aray
أنا ويزين جعله ويسده ما تعيش صلاة
ويش مقولين والي جعله ويسين جعلي يعني عافمات كي نولاده بش برواقة سير جاي
ولكن فضاء ولا كم فضاء
إس أردت تنبو هي سر
كم فضاء أردت معناه بمها
أنكي كويه ولا فضاء وي فضاء سا ما فضاء ما فضاء
هاي ummadooda waa fahmi waayeen anaa idin fasiraya
abtiyo alantaa mafado waxay ka dhimitaa abtiyo gabadhaada marew
okay asxaabta qaaliga meel walba dadweynaha ka joogtaan muuqaalkeena maanta ama muuqaalka xisaabada la daawanaysan haddii aad jeclaataan ama haddii aad ka heshaan like-taa badin doontaan muuqaalkana waa idiin soo badin doonaa barnaamijyo badan oo xiiso lana waa naga heli doontaan alla cusub wax laga qaban karo ma lahay meel walba dadweynaha ka joogtaan walaalkeen subscribe u saara
axmed insha allah lii soo dhaweey asxaabta axmed inje waxaan leeyahay waa idin jeclaa one love
taa waxaan leenahay sharafka noolaada meel walba dadweynaha ka joogtaan one love.
Good grammar and spelling are important, but if you want to write essays that inspire, messages that forge brighter connections, and emails that get the job done,
Yo, I did not understand half a word Donny said, you know. Wallah, it's vulnerable, hardly. Wallah, my. Like I said, yeah, there was an earlier argument. People go back and forth in it, yeah. Even when the chat popped off, yeah. Say. I just gotta quickly do something. Yeah, man, it's a mazza. It is a mazza. So earlier, yeah, if you lot missed it, yeah, we were talking about this, and then it sort of went into my mind. My mind's a whole different thing. Today, yeah, man, me and Dapper got it on quickly because it's been going nuts, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, the Speakers Club's been going crazy. It's getting nuts. I thought, you know what, let's talk about certain things. So if you go back, it was an interesting talk. It's not like you guys would have thought, like, yeah, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. So I'm gonna run it for another hour and a half. Anyone that want to talk about this subject in general? Yo, Daps. Yeah, Daps is back.
Broski.
Yeah. I like Dapo. That's another language.
والله some parts where I understood, like when he said earlier Abko, yes, I say that as well, and maybe I thought it was always an Afghan thing, but some parts
Abko. See, I've never heard that word Abko in my life. What's Abko?
Abko
Awowa. Come on. You know what, yeah? At this age of my life, yeah?
Maybe
at this age of my life, I found out what Ambula is.
Ambula wadikir de.
Yeah, that's all it was. I was thinking to myself, no shit, I'm thinking, you know what? What's this Ambula shit?
I would twist you today as well. Magarada sa filfil.
Filfil, that's what's it called? That's that spice thing, innit?
ما فرفر ده عبولة تعمل.
That's not Ambula, filfil.
والفلفل وجرا فلفل. والله العظيم.
No. Filfil is man. That's how I know you're so Filfil is what's it called? Cinnamon.
I'm not talking about
it's that. It's like cinnamon. Filfil in it. It's like, well, I don't know what type of. I think it's cinnamon. I'm not sure. Filfil.
No,
come on, man. Someone in the chat, correct, man. Filfil is our next thing, man. Yeah, no, man. I'm trying to say Filfil is Ambula. Yeah. Your mic's moving mad again, fam, man. I know you got some demons in your mic there, man. I hate people who's got that mad mic as well, you know. Mad mic. Hayay, Maya.
How's it going, man?
Ugaski how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
How you doing? How is Mogadishu, man? Mogadishu laga warama magaaladiisa leeyahay Shangaali waxa ka dhacay ash akhbaar xagee ka dhacday naadeer ma hawshii baa ku batay ma doorashooyinkii baa isku diyaarisay cilmi wax loo sheegnayo
ay cilmi
wallahi xaaladda waa soo laabtay it's late, so man. It's almost about 12 here, midnight.
No, I'm only gonna do another hour, people, innit? Because wallahi Brito la subax ina shaqada soo tooseen saafo. You know, let me do a couple of hours.
Yeah,
leave
yeah.
it there. No more than an hour, maybe another hour and a half. Yeah. But يورن دوما علمي نورن.
Lani waa la fiican yahay niyo. We're doing good.
Doing good, man. How's Mogadishu, man? Talk to MOG. Give us the latest.
Wallahi, Hamar, everybody's doing their thing. Business going as usual. But iska ninka Khalid abtigiis meesha wuu xoog nagu haystaa umaleynaa ma aqaaniye. Wuu ka degi la'yahay.
It's not even a group
Yeah,
ولا
never.
صقل يا خالد.
انا ما
group
اسوي
أصلاً
شيء علمي انا فرماجو انا ما مدحويني وياها بس هذا فريق بكوره هذا مدحويني
Hadda anigu ii yahay maadaama anaa Soomaali joogo mogta idinku waa maqantiin.
وخاري ابتيجي كلها شيك افلقاله لكن وقفت
This is the problem.
No,
I
it's
think
like a
Khalid,
film,
you know what it is?
والعلمي هذا قرني سده في الفيلم قرني في الفيلم
waa digirta camal oo green waa laakiin. Soomaa.
وكا
It's a green one.
ما شاء الله تبارك الله وكا
Oh my God. Are you not calling what's it called? Peas, yeah, fulfill.
No, not peas. It's
Like
like
green
digir.
peas.
It's not
Green
peas,
peas,
but
innit?
it's digir like it's the green one, not beans. We know
Yeah, it's
what
green.
peas
No,
is.
it's green peas, innit? Green peas, innit? Somehow.
How do you call it in Somaliland? How do you call
I
your
don't know
dialect?
والله ربوقيقة والله I don't know what they call it, yeah, but green peas or fulfill بحسن fulfill
But you
is
eat it. But you eat like digir soman in a normal
yeah,
way.
yeah, it's like green peas, man. Come on, man. England, you see green peas, like
we say
like sweet corns, you got
عمبولة,
a
we
green
say
peas.
dikir, we say fulfill. We say three things. So if someone comes to me and
Lentils.
says to me
Is it
fulfill, I will
lentils?
understand it. If someone says to me
No,
عمبولة, I will understand it. If someone says to me dikir, I will understand it.
but digir and the fulfilled you said is two different. Right? It's like it's digir, but it's not the same color. Digir is red, brownish, and
My
the other one is a
brownish.
little bit greenish.
fulfill وعدان.
Yeah.
White meat.
ها واو
Nah,
fulfill
man. Okay,
brown
wanna go على
brown
سما. أريو كنياتي ما أريو يا ما chama yo. وقال لي بلا يا متنا نيجي تعرف man. سنتي موزة أكيا مونغوس. Twende.
The bu-
Sawa kama nigga dama mzee. Yo
yeah,
kama so Swahili wax kala umalena sama nyama chama
والله
ya
والله
bala
والله
lotisa.
علمي صار وراك وعلمي وقرنا والله حمر على عنا فلفل ومعان او والله بلا اللي بحكوا سكر يا سليد ما شاء الله تبارك الله والله هبيك
معصرة
معصرة
sesame seed, sesame oil, sesame oil.
سليد معصر يا سليد اسكو درس والله العظيم معانك هذا يا بس
هاي bunta ka hilmaam angade. Xaqula.
والبن ما قرنا دار بن ولا عنا هل مر انت اسكو حدسا لكن بن
Bun ma garanaysid ah?
اوي بن ما قرنا يعني البن ما قرنا
That's coffee, isn't it, man?
Yeah, the coffee, yes.
Yeah, bonus
Yes,
coffee,
yes,
man. Come
yes.
on, man. We got that as well, but Hambula, the green one, is also known as Nama, Muhammad Nama.
ولكن
Hambula is like
صور معتا دي
Nama. أنا بحا أفكر مسارة, man. Fuck all of that. بحا أنا أفكر مسارة, man. Sorry, وقالي يجي إلى
Isku mid ana xataa ma jecel baba sheegay.
Nah, man. Breeze Libya boss, so simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
It comes to Somali,
Traditional.
man. But listen, let's talk, man. Let's get back
Yeah.
to the conversation. Ilmo, it's
Yes.
Kabili Talk Tuesday. Man, to a Tuesday.
صح.
Ninkan abtigo to high berian ban, like, well, skudegna.
عادي.
Alanki blue was in Tagal Hanaga, and then the man Alanki green, your white. Wish all a
What
slot
you-
in out there.
I want to ask you, hadda waa you always come on late mugta marka aniga waa iska jiifaa. Marka maxaa dhahay in the morning fairy the videos and I see it on private. What's wrong markaas maxaa waa habeenkaas waa iska sheemiya.
Habeenka private got no runta wanaagsan, yeah. I'm gonna private clubs kan isku soo cilmi you're in a private club gooni boss
Yeah,
soo
yeah.
tiri sometimes marka ay garas xaaladdu isku yaro xumaato and
صح.
you know is imka qaar garanaysa diinta u soo
Yeah, yeah.
soo meesha na soo galayna maade
Yeah.
some of their propaganda waa in meesha laga yara chacharo or sometimes
okay, right.
blaya la iska yara it's like bro like Allah ku daasho maxaasa nu qaar new dadka sma maqlaanne. You know,
Yeah, Somali.
some people, they don't know what's coming
Yeah.
out of their mouth. I think what internet, which you can I can say anything I want.
Correct.
And at the end of the day, and well, I run town when I say, Ilahi Banigana, Ilahi Sab, Tommy don't know, I run town. That's how I feel. Like, Ramadan Basardo. And some things are a
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
too,
yeah.
you know what, like, come on, man.
والله صح. And you guys are Ramadan in England, huh?
Of course,
Shit.
well, we're Muslim all over the world, well over.
Yeah.
This is what the Kamacho we're not gonna say. We're gonna be fasting this year. So for me, I don't know. Some of the things private, it's just either qabil bala school or some things about you know.
Didn't.
Dinta la stuff like that. In and I just feel like, you know, I don't even want to put that in the public. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, no, it's correct.
Because you don't know who's listening to this sometimes as well. المدير doing good against sometimes as well.
No, صح. You're correct.
Yeah. You get where I'm coming from? Because I feel like there's a way in a qabiyalat you see I don't have likarno see analysts so I can. I don't know that مفهمي
That's the best way.
I feel like علمي هذا وحورنا والله حاجات again. I don't know I ujedin. I can speak about it, but then again, some people I don't know where bodan. صاحبك خالد أخو كله بودا هذا مقديشو سومالي وحلقة شيء
صح. صح.
You get that because the other day was Dolce on Sira Haisene and before you know what, let's just talk. Let's bring it out to Omadordan. India Garas Lugutar Sami Karaya. And
yeah.
And what is your fikirat? What is your fikirat?
About tribe.
Just tribe boy. Waxa shake again waxana haysto.
Wallahi niyo the tribe of the Somali or the wiliga midday don't. We were always.
That's what I'm saying.
Wiliga Madanis, I think, yeah. But I think maybe the bad part I can like to not think about Qabil as much, but we will never lose it. Yeah, well, that had the last 30 years Qabil lagu dhaqmay Soomaa maxaa lagu dhaqmay hebel
That's why you know yeah runta wanaagsan. This is what I say to a lot of Somalis and walaalin qorbaa joogan they say anigu Qabil okay adigu maybe Qabil ma ku dhaqmantid but the fabrics of ummadda Soomaalida weligaa ayaa la haa si walba
yeah
you can't escape it waxaana like you know ana like you know I don't know this is why I try to say there's Qabil and there's Qabiyalat walaal ilmi
yeah that's 100% hadda Soomaali hadda waa joogaa you know Hamar waa joogaa حتى Hamar horta the people are not that obsessed dhalinyarada hadda I think all over Somalia even Somaliland
even had cases like that as well
yeah they're not obsessed with Qabil
they're not really that bothered
yeah because meesha the Hargeysa da first Hamar da first is multicultural in sense of Qabils
that's the
everybody you can find yeah you can find everybody especially Hamar qofre waqooyi arkaysa qofre raxweyna arkaysa qof bari ka imaado you will see everybody so it's very hard to be qabyaalad but qabil in itself Somali in daynayso I don't think so
I think maybe I think they could be you know door maybe they can I don't know I don't like you know hanti dadka haday yeeshaan nin qabiilkiisa iyo qof qabiilkiisa ma daawanaysa
no of course
والله كونفرد maxay yiraahdaan best amal waa you know best amal waa
yeah but I sense talking about qabil
haday qofka amal iyo best haday haystaan do you think lamaka qabiil imka ma soo jeedaan
no I mean when I say qabil I'm not talking about qabiyalat I'm talking about okay if for instance kaftan markas la kaftamayso ama qof if you want to know the person or qof hada marka gabarda aroosaysid that type of things will never go away but qabiyalat when everybody has a job everybody is busy with their own life within 20 30 40 years maybe people will forget this
I reckon well you know it is I'll tell you the truth Fuzzy I'll say like you know dadka hada amal hantiga dadka wax u yeelo maskaxda isku mashquuliyaan qabyaaladu biyaa way but then again it takes dawlad adag imika iyo dad adag fiila you know waxana ma cunino ummadda Soomaalida waxaan duligan aan ka saarno
صح
diifin qof sidoo kale la heli karaya
So I think there are those people, but those people will not get the chance to be in power. Yeah, because I don't know the reason for it. Maybe because قفل بالعقل وأردوسا, and he needs his people to help him to get in a position. But yeah.
No, because I feel like, look, listen, in a hebel. We're all in a hebel. You know, if we,
Yeah.
those from Aliadan here.
Ah.
In a hebel, but look at Shaqania. In a hebel.
Yeah.
That's something you can't escape. والله أدار كائم قادرني كشخصي علمي وكلا أدار كيس دو شخصي أنا ما لا يقبله إذا قبيل وإذا قبيلة وإمس welcome big up my brother.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. How's it going, man?
عليكم السلام.
عليكم السلام.
You good, yeah?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Elmi, you're in Hammer right now, right?
He's an MEG. Yeah, you might hold the panel up for me. Hold the panel for me, Ems.
All right. Yeah. You're in Hammer right now, what?
Yeah. Hammer جولا.
Yeah. How is it, anyways?
والله واسكا نبض. Everybody's doing the thing, busy with the normal day, stuff.
Oh, a lot of my cousins moved out, anyways.
To Hamara.
No, they moved out of Hammer.
To?
They come back to the UK.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's maybe to do with work or something like that, anyways. Or whatever in it, but I don't know.
They used to work here and left.
Yeah,
now.
they used to work there still. So their families is there, so they come back here to find work here in the UK instead of Hammer, anyways. But they've been there for a couple of years though. But I don't know. They weren't happy with obviously the situation, innit? Or whatever.
With Farmaja.
Yeah. They obviously don't. I don't know. I think the road blockings and stuff like that or whatever. But at the same time, what was it said? They're pretty anti-Farmajo, innit? Themselves.
Okay.
Innit? Yeah. But what?
Okay, they are against Farmajo. So.
Well, they're pretty anti, anyways. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Stuff. So usually the people there, how are they finding it? Usually they don't care or what? Because to me, it looks like people don't care. They just want to do about their job.
This has been going on for too long. People cannot be constantly talking and think about Farmajo or who's going to be president. They have their families. They have mouths to feed. You cannot think about who's going to be president every day.
Yeah. I guess they have to go about their day, innit?
Yeah, they have to go about the day. Farmajo's not going to put food on the table, so man, they have to work.
Yeah. Regardless if anyone comes, it's not really like it's going to make a huge difference. They have to still, regardless if anything happens, they still have to earn money themselves.
Yeah, and of course, off the Galrab no one wants to see another war. So
Yeah, I get. Obviously, they've been fighting for a long time, man. Hammer has been a war zone for a very long time.
Yeah, of course, everybody. But even though all that's happening, Hammer is still being built. People still investing their money into Hammer, building houses, building buildings, apartment buildings, hospitals, malls.
I want to ask you a question, innit, since you're there anyways, because I've got cousins in it that live there. But then I find their mentality a bit weird, innit? It's like they go, if what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely disagree with their mentality anyways. Like, obviously, I've got family in Hammer, and I disagree with their mentality in it. Because, say if a Garhis happens, I've got, is it safe there? What about Garhis? They're like, do you know what? It's like you live in London, and then you live in West London, and then there's a Garhis happens in East London. It goes, it's so far away and so on anyways, yeah? And then the mentality is very much, if it's your time, it's your time. But then I'm like, you shouldn't accept low standards like that.
But
do you get it?
I understand that, but what can they do about it? That's the question.
To be honest with you, like the way I see it is that politicians, they're public servants. So at the end of the day, they have to answer to the people. For example, if you look at here in the UK, comparing here anyways, say for example the whole COVID-19 thing that happened anyways, every single day Boris Johnson will come in and address the public. Every single day they wake him up. Every day he used to come on every morning, address the public, make plans, make apologies if you failed on something, make a
I understand
roadmap.
that.
But you get if
But
something happens, say in the UK, yeah, it don't matter if it happens 4 o'clock in the morning. While wake up. He has to get on the
yeah,
TV
well, صح,
and start
but then
addressing
it
people.
is
You get it?
they were, but he was elected somehow by the people. The person in
But
charge now is
regardless,
not
but his
elected.
figures, even if the person in charge was elected, the people allow him to behave like that.
I would say the people are too busy with their own lives. I think to
I get it,
even
but who's in office? There's politicians. Do you understand? You need accomplices.
but but you need to understand there are roadblocks, plus there are soldiers and military and I mean police officers on the road. There are individuals who are mentally. You understand what those people without they will come to a place and they will blow themselves up. How are you going to protect people from that? It's too
Yeah,
absurd.
but you'd have to regulate who comes in and out the city. Because
But
the
Hamad
issue
is so
here
large.
is, I've
But
been,
Hamad is so large.
yes, I
I
get
would,
it, but
you know, but the thing is, they say
why?
Mogadishu is a large city. Hargeisa
Yeah,
as well, bro.
Mogadishu.
You've been to both cities, innit?
I've been to
And
Hargeisa innit, anyway.
I
So
haven't been to Mogadishu. Well, I'd love to
yeah,
go.
I've been
More
Hargeisa. This is a
safer.
lot of people. But then, how many garhes do you get in Hargeisa?
No, but
None.
the thing is,
You don't get any garhes.
no, but look, listen, see this thing, right now, yeah. It's a thing where, and again, I want to speak lightly, like Halima Ninja said earlier in the chat. I want to be sensitive. I want to be delicate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, looking up from outside, it looks to me where I see this group. I feel like it's an scapegoat, fam.
Who?
I
The group?
think it's a mafia. I feel like anyone's just. I feel like I don't know, fam. I feel like how come 1 minute they like the other day in Shangali, but next minute they're fighting down there. How organized are these people? Where are they?
Do you know what? I
That kind of
believe,
threw me
yeah.
off. Do you get me? Ems, that threw me
I
off.
get it. I get what you said, but I don't believe they actually try and tackle these people.
No,
I don't
that's
believe
it.
they're serious about it. That's the
That's
issue
it.
there.
I don't know. I don't
But
know.
as
Me, I'm thinking to
SS,
myself,
SS,
yeah, go on, my brother.
they
Go on, my
they
bro.
say every month those people take $15 million in taxation of people from Mogadishu.
How? This is what I'm saying. Who? Okay, if I'm paying you, والله لالوش هذا يقعد أنا سيدي.
Yeah.
دولتنا هذا يجتو. دولت
Yeah.
أسكرت مال senior 15. When you say
No,
15
no,
million battery.
no. I mean the people, not the Dolet, the other ones
Right.
are taking 15
Right.
million a month.
Okay, 50. Okay, you know, okay, El Kebab. Let's call them El Kebab.
Yeah.
We already know we're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
them boys there. We're gonna call them boys. Them man there, innit? Yeah. Cool. If you're telling me 15 million behelian, yeah. How? So Eden can mahel so how? That's impossible.
They listen, they tax every business. The biggest business
okay,
in
if you're
Bacaro.
taxing every business, yeah. But don't
Yeah.
gonna lag on Cena, yeah. You're gonna lag on Cena.
Yeah.
This doesn't
Yeah,
work
that's the
in
issue
Mogadishu,
there.
bro.
You're
That's the
giving
problem.
you're giving money to Al Kebab and you're giving money to the government.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you're giving money to Al Kebab, you're empowering them.
But you
Hey,
don't
fuck them,
understand.
man. We're
They
gonna
were
call them
threat.
by their fucking names, man. They are a threat, man. Well,
Yeah, he's look. Dapper goes there to compare UK to Somalia is far fetched. To be honest with you, it depends. What do you want to be? Do you want to be a banana republic? Behave like a banana republic. If you want to be a proper country, you're gonna have to behave like a proper country and a proper government. So it's really choice and behaviors. If you behave like with no standards and no ethics, then you're going to have no standards. Do you understand? The country is going to be a banana republic.
But you need to understand, these people threat people with their lives. You cannot put yourself in a position unless you are threatened.
Yes,
You understand?
Elmi, but here's the thing is, yeah, the government, they get paid taxes. It's for protection. Do you understand? I'm here. Look, in most working countries, when you pay taxes, you're paying for a service. I pay road tax for the fixing of the road. I pay taxes for healthcare. I pay taxes for police. So that when I phone them, they don't charge me because I've paid my taxes. Do you understand? That goes towards empowering the government so they can provide me with service. If you're
That's what
paying
I'm talking
taxes
about.
and they're not providing you nothing, then you should be
Ah,
holding the government accountable. If
of
these
course.
these businesses are paying Ashraf for protection, the same way they're paying the government for protection, the government should be protecting these businesses.
But they are not. That's the problem.
They're
Come on.
not. Do you know why?
So
Because the
Evans, what are you
people are
saying? So you might as well
complicit.
give me a refund then. You might as well give me
Yeah, you
my
might as well
money
give me a
back.
refund because you're not providing nothing.
Yeah.
But if
Do you
you,
understand?
but can you, how can you tell the government to, I'm not gonna pay you. You will be mahana. You will be jailed
Bruv,
or
you know
fined.
now.
Maxay ku
At
tartay?
the end of what people need to do is to stand up to their government and hold them accountable for these type of things. Do you understand?
How-
Because
Yeah,
these
what's
people
that?
are going to still eat money. They're going to still sit. And if no one's really putting heat on them, then they're going to behave as how they do. But imagine this, the government, yeah, is located in Hamar, but attacks happen in Hamar. That should be their stronghold.
Yes.
Do you
And the
understand?
biggest problem is how are they taking money from people within Hamar? That large of
Yes.
money, that
Do you understand?
that large amount of money without being traced. That's
But
what
then
I cannot understand.
how
How
can
they
the
not tracing that
government, yeah,
amount of money?
how can the government say they're going to get rid of Shabab? They can't even get rid of Shabab in their front door, but they're talking about getting rid of Shabab in Juba and Southwest State and somewhere far away and so on. But they're at your front door.
I think those places are easier to take them out than in
No,
Hamar.
man, it should be easier within the city because
But
the,
you know,
the, the, the
if you've been
headquarters
to Hamar,
is
if
there.
you've been
The
to Hamar,
headquarters in Hamar.
but you know, Hamar is so large. The amount
Yeah,
of
but
people who
how
live here.
big is Hamar? It's only got 2.5 million people. Look at this country, 66 million people. How many attacks do you get? You don't get that many attacks. It's
But
a
if
lot
the people
larger. It's
are
8 million
literally,
people in London, bruv.
but you don't
How many
understand.
radicals are there? How many psychos are there?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
these
but if,
psychos, come on, nah, but yeah, but Ems, what you're forgetting, and you're not adding up to the fact is, yeah, cause yeah, these people, like, we live in an island, right? So every weapon's kind of controlled. Do you think these people have got, like, you see people, it's not, and plus, it's not a lawless country. There's
Yeah, I
laws and
know.
accountability. There's
and
things,
it's a
there's
function.
institutions in place for shit
Yeah,
like
the
that not to
Functional
institution,
happen.
government.
but you need to obviously build the institution anyways.
There's no, this is what I'm saying. The fabrics of society there is not built. And man, what have Moche done? This is
Yeah,
where I'm
but
coming from.
it's the thing is, yeah, there's bad years, yeah, where
Yeah.
there is no government there. Like if you go Somalia, if you go Badia, but government don't exist there. But some of these Badias, they don't get any attacks. They don't. A
No,
lot
but
of stuff don't happen.
I think there is government everywhere because there are now
No,
states,
it's not. It's not.
and
Trust
within the
me.
states there are
No,
districts.
no. If you trust me, yeah. Don't matter where you are. If you're in Somaliland, Somalia, wherever, yeah. Go on a journey, and you'll find out these governments only exist in specific cities. Outside of there, there's only tribal elders who are paid, and then they wave whatever flag. That's it. And the
Okay.
tribal elders hold these areas, and they're the people who are usually paid. If you go to areas like Sol Sanang, there's not that much government there, anyways, or other areas within the south.
I cannot talk about solar
Yeah,
Snake,
but
so I've never been there.
even if you go,
So
say if you leave Hamaria and you go to other places, most of these government
yeah,
exist in the major cities. They don't exist in like in the smaller areas.
Say that again. What does that mean?
Basically, these governments here mainly are in major cities. When you go to Badia, the people who hold these places are tribal elders, and they're usually paid by the government for some sort of allegiance or something, anyways. So that's how they're linked.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get it?
I hear that. But at the same time, yeah, do you think? All right, cool. I bear in mind. I'm trying to think to myself, yeah. Okay, what is it then? What is it? Is it? Should we call it? I don't know. Is it a worldwide? Should we do a worldwide media campaign on these people? What? How can we enlighten the people then? How can we show the people what's fucking going on? You know,
I think to be honest, I think
the
my
people
idea
are
is,
dumbed down.
do you know what it is? Yeah, I think my idea is, yeah, obviously the government needs to win the people's trust, because the problem is that, cool, if you're gonna rat out a Shabab guy next door, the government might be linked to Shabab, or they might not be able to protect you. So why would you risk your family to rat on this guy when the government can't even protect itself?
Yeah, that's
You
the
get it?
biggest problem.
So
Yeah.
they need to obviously win the confidence of the people, and then it's through the way they behave, and then usually their priority. The problem is the priority is no longer Shabab. The priority has become, we're gonna fight Madobi, we're gonna fight Denny, we're gonna fight Al Summa Jama'at, we're gonna go fight Haf, we're gonna go fight Robi, we're gonna go fight basically all these stable states or people.
Yes,
Do you understand?
I'm with you.
Do you
Especially,
get it? So
have you seen
it's big.
even
Is what?
Dulce Mareb, when it's the
Yeah,
capital of Galmudug, it was
yeah,
stable before Formaggio
yeah. It
took
was
and
stable
Qorqor
before.
took over, and now they're saying Al Shabaab has made attacks there. Before that, it
Do you
was one
know?
of the most stable cities.
Do you know why that's happened? Because what they've done is Al Summa Jama'at cleared out Al Shabab there, and then the
Yes,
government attacked Al Summa Jama'at, got rid of them.
yes,
Okay, whatever they got rid of them, yeah, and then they've put in a guy, yeah, Qorqor, who rarely ever visits Galmudug. So now
Qor-
it's practically leaderless. Galmudug's majority of the time in Hamar, he doesn't talk about Galmudug. He doesn't do anything. Doesn't say anything. He's just sitting in Hamar, anyways. To get it, so now it's practically they've been consolidated. It's basically become a centralist, anyways. It's practically like they don't have a leader anymore. And then
but
these forces, which used to fight Shabab, are gone.
yes, 100%. But even though Qorqor is not that much in Galmudug anymore, because we are now in a period of election, and he is part of that. I would say the more influential individuals, him, Formaggio, and Denny, and of course he will be in Hamar, and
Yeah,
he
of
is
course
of course.
he will be. His thing is, but when does Karkar talk about any situation in Galmudug? When does he talk
Yeah,
about it?
that's
He doesn't.
yeah, 100%,
Come on, man! Like
100%.
originally I'm from there, he never speaks about it. What kind of state leader never speaks about the state he's meant to be a president of?
Yeah, I'm also from Galmudug, so yeah, I have
Yeah.
big problems with him.
Do you understand? Like obviously, personally, at the beginning, I kind of thought, okay, yeah, I want a pro government guy. And then after that, I feel like he abandoned that. So the issue is though, is like the enemy hasn't become Shabab. The enemy has become federalism
Government,
and federal
yeah.
states. So now they're fighting amongst each other.
Okay.
Do you get it?
So why is this only happening in the south?
Because obviously, to be honest, the way I see it is some people have fond memories of the Gakan regime, and then obviously they're trying to recreate the whole centralism of it.
So then alright then, so alright.
But did you see the whole thing? Sorry,
I'm trying to be buffed right now. Okay, yeah. Like again, I'm trying to look at it from a northerner's lens. Yeah, from a northerner's lens, it's just.
Is it because maybe we have more tribes in the south than we are in the north?
But then again, if you got more tribes, you got more hunting, you got more la'ag, you should have more control, right?
Yeah, I would say more tribes does not mean more la'ag. I mean, there are more groups of people who are thinking about their own instead of the collective.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is the way I see it is people should just go build their own areas instead of. The problem is, yeah, they've got so many people who are trying to dominate each other. That's the issue. Somalis in general are trying to dominate each other instead of really working together or basically minding their business and then building their own turf.
Yeah, every district, of every state has specific tribe who are the majority within that state, or who have and they're dominating the others. But even though I would say the states are more stabler now, but there are some things I would rather have this president out to bring a person in who's specifically specifically talks about the issues of Al Shabaab, nothing else.
Yeah,
Take them out first,
Yeah.
and then we will build the others, and we will build upon that.
Because to be
And
honest,
that
with
means
the
you
big,
need to be a dictator. Then you need to be ruthless.
I don't believe you
Like
need to
one
be a
day, yeah,
dictator,
you know what
bro.
it is? Yeah, I had this debate. Yeah, I think it was Upshed from Australia. Innit? It was like Khalid. Say if you smoke all of them, innit? Yeah, there are people like, yeah, fucking man, smoke all of them on site. Can you rehabilitate them? Because the other day I was watching a video. Some of the Eidam, I don't know where was it. I don't know
Oh,
where it
I
was
know
in
you're
South.
talking
The Galkido, didn't it? Yeah.
Hmm.
And they were talking about would you recruit them? Where that kind. I don't know. And some people switching sides. Oh, some of the Askar were saying, "Come over, Askar to Somalia, Kusabir." How do you know this person is not going to switch sides?
Oh, I'm gonna ask you this. Yeah, did you hear about the whole Janan thing? Abdishkur Janan.
Who's this guy, bro? Yeah, he switched sides as well. 1 minute he was this guy, like Madowe. 1 minute you're Ali Kebab. Next minute you're this side.
Do you remember? Do you
What's
remember you
going
did?
on?
Do you
That's
remember
the
you did?
funniness.
Do you remember you did a show of Belhawa?
Yeah.
With the attacks, anyways. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the government soldiers were fighting basically this Janan guy and his soldiers, and then he's from a different sub tribe of Manahan or whatever, and then he's with the KDF. Apparently, they caught the guy previously. He's won in 2015. He went to they caught him and somehow he escaped the Hamar prison. I don't know. But the government chased him all the way to Mandera, and obviously he's carrying out attacks where from there, I think was it shelling or something like that? Shelling, and then do you remember the woman with 5 of her sons died? And then his militia was in charge of it. And then shockingly, the guys wanted for human rights violation. Basically, globally, one of human rights violation and stuff like that. Yeah, obviously, the atrocities is committed. But imagine that Farman just giving the guy a pardon. They cleared him. They've given him a pardon. He's come over. He brought his Aiden cuff, switched sides. They pardoned him, despite of all the innocent people he's killed in Belhawa.
That's a jolting. Thank you, Ems. How can you sit on that? Like, how can that? Oh, come on, man.
Imagine that. Obviously, a lot of people now obviously mad in it because they're saying, "Oh, maybe because he's Merehan or something like that." But
he gets a G pass. He gets that G pass in it. He gets that G. He gets that G pass.
He's G, basically the pass.
No, the D pass. Is it the D? We're not allowed to say that.
The toll pass, isn't it? He got a toll pass.
I'll say the toll pass.
But obviously, don't know what it is. Yeah,
we're not allowed to say that, man. Come on, some people are gonna say we're conspiring against a certain clan.
But you know what it is. Some people are
sensitive.
Sometimes you gotta bring people out.
You gotta be, but it's out there. It is clear.
Yeah, people are stupid.
I didn't look at it from that angle.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, yeah, you know, sometimes you have to bring people out because, like, they might can't excuse, but some people might be young and might see it in it and might ask questions in it, especially for young people in it. But what I was saying,
he smoked. Like, think about it. This man was responsible for smoking 5 boys and their mom, right? And now he's well, I saw doing
they give him money.
They're gonna put him in a suit, and now he's gonna be in the Dollar.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Okay, the South.
And the funniest,
you know what? That's 1 month ago. He was smoking kids.
The South.
1 month ago,
down
bro.
south.
Do you remember?
Sorry, the South. My brothers and sisters from the Comfort.
Imagine that 1 month ago.
I'm trying to be nice and polite right now.
Yeah.
You see the hecticness. You see the craziness.
Yeah, but imagine that. Yeah, 1 month ago. Yeah,
he
was smoking kids, and now he's a hero. Now he's part of the government. He switched sides.
Thank you.
There's no standards, bro. There's no integrity.
Furthermore, I need to do a video about him. I need to find out who this guy really is.
Yeah, you need to look up.
Yeah, I need to do a whole stream about him, man. If man's moving like that, yeah, and now he's in power, yeah.
Bro, now they give him a pardon, bro. That's what they're saying. They've given him a pardon.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's yab, man.
Allah Farmajo, the man is on another level.
That for saying, mashallah, the guy's clever, isn't it?
Yeah,
Dapper said,
taking care of his talent.
Dapper literally said he wants a dictator for Somalia. How?
Well, that guy
after all the things happen.
Do you know what? Do you know what
Everything
his
happened.
thing is? Yeah, here's the first funny thing is, yeah. If Farmajo said, "I'm a dictator, I'm gonna stay there," Hoga Ujoga, the only people who's gonna get smoked, yeah, is Dapa Abdigisa, because they're gonna get demonized. Because the last time it didn't really end well for them, and the guy was like 100 times more powerful, anyways.
But boy, I thought you
That's
know what it is.
crazy. But do we? Should we? Yeah, that's the crazy part. Should we not learn from our mistakes? That's the
This
biggest.
is
Yeah,
Why
that's
are we
sad.
not learning from our mistakes?
Okay. No, sorry, Ilmi and Ems. For me, as two brothers, that's Hawiya right now.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you call this then? Let's call this out. Like for me, it's I don't want to call it as a tribal
We
thing,
are
but
yeah,
we are
100%.
like,
We do not learn
how
from
do
our
you hold
mistakes.
someone like that accountable? It's not really. I'm just thinking about what you just said. A couple of months ago, we did Balahawa, madness popped off. Them 5 boys on Skin Kinta, them saying Nicola Lada Galami and Niza. And if this is facts right now, this is what I'm saying. We live in the age of information. Ems, I've been saying this before. We live in the age of information and misinformation.
No,
But this is live.
Alhamdulillah, we're very fortunate.
We're very fortunate. We could just see it and be like, all right, cool.
Listen what Deppa said. We give Somalis too much freedom, wallah. What?
We give Somalis too much freedom? Shit on you. Freedom. I don't know. Oh, he didn't.
We give Somalis too much freedom.
Some people say we have a lack of freedom.
But you know what? We're actually very low on the freedom rating. I think we got like a 7 or 100. And Somaliland's actually a bit higher at 35 or 100. Or something like that. So we got one of the lowest freedom ratings in the world. So I don't know what freedom he's talking about.
For me, like just the whole transition of man was wanted, Dadbu Dilige, Studio Diaraba, and everyone's taking a picture of me.
So, yeah, to be honest,
what does that show? What does that show?
Does
that mean you have to in حبدي تضل تقالنتي واحد يشيل تن قلب على قصينيا?
Yeah, I know. Do you know what
is that your fastest way into Dolota?
Here's what's shocking is the top head of intelligence, Nisa, the top guy is Fahd Yassin Al-Shabaab, and then number 2 is another Al-Shabaab guy, so the vice anyways, and then there was a Fahd Yassin, Israel Hassan, and then the other guy, he gets criticized because they're trying to say, oh, Farmajo's giving pardons to his Tolenet, who's Al-Shabaab, innit? But what is it called? Imagine this: if you come to Somalia with a CV, you want to be something, you want a job, and another guy, you might have a degree or whatever, and another guy has on his rap sheet that he was a killer, he killed innocent people, and then he gets a job and not you. It's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's shocking.
On your CV, you're a killer.
Yeah, I read. What's popping, my broski?
Nobody on accent. What's up, man? Everyone's good, man.
How you doing? Yeah, no, Ems, to answer that. Alhamdulillah, salam alaikum, my broski. Listen, Ems, you know what it is, broski. You know what you just said there, yeah? It's a shocker, but I'm lost for words, you know. Jana. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, who do you blame? What you know the Shi'ib? Why can't the Shi'ib realize this? Have they realized? Can they speak up about it? Or maybe
about the president?
Yeah. Now this is the scenario, like guys like this, because that means any Tom, Dick, and Harry just looks at his scenario, just say, okay, I'm gonna have
SS Willa is crazy in Somalia. There's been a lot of like assassinations and that in Somalia, disappearances. It's crazy.
That's a regular, bro. Okay, man.
But you know what's even more crazier? You know what's even more crazier? Like when it comes to business, Qabialada and Qinatsika. Imagine if you own a business, let's say construction company or a pharmaceutical company or whatever. Yeah. If you got like friends in the government or you got family members who know powerful people, you can get contracts and anything. Even when it comes to student visas.
That's everywhere in Somalia.
It's crazy.
That's not only,
Yeah,
not
but
only specific to
that actually happens in the UK as well. Like some people might get contracts, depending who they know. Like Adam
That's
people
not.
do it here anyways. Like council contracts
Yeah,
might be given to friends and
that's
stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
that's not
yeah,
only a Somali thing. That's a worldwide
yeah,
thing. Everybody's
worldwide,
corrupt
yeah.
a little bit.
So it happens in Europe as well, innit?
But Somali, yeah, 100%. It does happen. If you know a person within a minister, and you have
Yeah.
a project, he will help. He can make it more easy for you, of course, to get the contract.
Yeah, come on, but you have to pay him as well.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
الشح عاطي شح وانا شفت. There's
Idiot.
Lalush, man. Come on, man. Well, that's what I'm saying. So for me, if you're
You mean-
dollar the right now, you get into dollar, that's a meal ticket for you.
I'm just
That's
saying
a
this,
meal
yeah.
ticket.
The
That's a
fact,
meal ticket.
the fact that Cheese, yeah, deciding to stay there, yeah, is actually a blessing.
Say
Because
that
it's
again?
like, you know, the fact that he's staying there is actually a blessing. Because like the longer he stays there, the more suhumena, innit?
You're
So
from
if you want
Russia.
him gone, huh?
You're from Russia.
Yeah, basically, yeah. The longer he stays there, the more people clock on to the stuff he's doing, innit?
Well, some people think from but I say I'm keeping. I don't know. What you saying? The boy from Russia, has he done good? What from you? Are you
Yeah,
saying he's
honestly,
causing a disaster?
But
Come
I
on.
believe,
know
of
what?
Let's
course.
be honest.
Yes,
To be honest,
100%.
look, he's done some good, but he's done a lot of damage as well.
Mm-hmm.
No, wallahi, the Farmajo, horta, in the sense of Somalia, he has done a lot. Let's be real, horta. Lakin he, especially the army, horta, as Sheikh Dapper said, but the army is for the country. It's not for him to do what he wants with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And the
'cause it-
funniest part is we have the military Gogar, Haram At, and the other ones in Hamar. While 30 kilometers away, he cannot go. He cannot go to the National Theater. That's like 200 meters from where he lives. Having
couldn't even go-
military,
yeah,
you
what's
understand
the
what I'm
point?
saying?
He couldn't even go to the football match.
What's the point? Why
And
do
what's
you have
crazy-
all this?
He couldn't go to the football match, the cup finals, but then 4 years ago, Hassan Sheikh was able to go there. So why isn't this guy not able to go outside? And then the
He's
previous
saying he's not loved. He's saying his popularity. Because look, at the end of the day, yeah, the only time I've seen this Donny speak, yeah, you know, a major incident was, you know, that time of the COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to be like, yo, bruh, big up the boy from Montreal, man. Mohammed
But he was
Abdullah.
at
I
his
just
home.
say, you know what, yeah, no,
What if
it's,
he's a
I don't know, but he spoke at the same time. It's like a major. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes I think he's as a president, you cannot be quiet. Like he's not at the forefront. Look at that, all of this.
Yeah, I know, I know.
think-
Basically,
So I don't think
look
he's
at other presidents.
I think he doesn't have charisma. He's not charismatic. You get where I'm coming from?
Because
Yeah.
because I get it. He's
He's
meant
cold.
to come up.
Hakam Mughata, you know them ones. I feel like I don't
He
know,
needs to
man. I feel
reassure
like-
the people. He's going to come up there and needs to reassure the people
Yeah.
and talk about what's happened and what he's going to do to solve this issue or whatever
But then
crisis
again, is
going
the
on.
man allowed to? Look, all right, cool. This is the question: is this man allowed to? Is he allowed
talk?
to? Is this chair that Nico Kursugo for? Is it a poison chalice? Runta one accent. Kursugan.
What do you mean? Sorry, go on.
I sitting on this chair right now. Like
Yeah.
Runta one accent. It's an impossible task, right? Sahano. You get where I'm from?
It maybe
So-
could be.
It could be. He could be doing his utmost best.
100%.
I
It
don't
could
think
be.
so, man. I don't think so. Because I don't think
Yeah,
so.
it
'Cause
could
why?
be.
I don't
Okay.
believe because here's the thing is, yeah,
Right.
his priority isn't Shabab. His priority is basically attacking federalism and centralizing things. And people need his security. People don't give a crap about how it governs in Somalia or whatever in it. People want security. People want to do their business. People want to be able to walk around. People want to like live a normal life.
Live. People
Do you
just
understand? People want to live.
live.
People want to live. People don't care whatever you're gonna make it 18 this or separate between that. They don't. People don't care if it is whoever's in the kursi in these other states or whatever, innit? Do you understand? The major problem is obviously the number one problem people suffer with is terrorism. It's not people people don't suffer of federalism or who does what in some election, this and that.
I hear that.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, let's see what the comments saying. This guy says the build army. So the SNA army was recreated by Sheikh Sharif. Hassan Sheikh got the training from Turkey, where people are enjoying now. So usually not a whole training program. It was not a whole Turkey deal. Hassan Sheikh was the one that established it. Anyways, let's see. I think the problem is obviously Formaggio did good with the whole paying the army. So basically, the whole I think he got Hassan al-Khairo to work on what was it called, a system where the soldiers get paid directly, and that was definitely good with the soldiers getting paid. But the problem is that you're building an army for what exactly? Like, because you're not exactly providing security.
Yeah, but so the boy Daps is here anyway. Yo.
Yes,
Apple.
about walaalkay in with you. Yeah. So he mentioned that the deal was brought by Hassan. No one is going to take it away from him.
Okay.
Okay, we know it. Qofkas or political rules are okay. But if you and people are claiming in a chat here below that he has brought out the most Al-Shabaab people and converted them into soldiers. All right, let's give him those two credits. Wal Ogolade. If you don't pay your soldiers like him, or mer inta ad ulul staagsantahay oo deysay qofka oo $50 ku faraxsaneen xoolihiis meel kale ha karaadsto oo 7 bilood lacag la siinaynin 8 bilood mishaar lacag oo meesha u soo galaynin. Nick, do you actually believe he has the interest of building the army?
Okay, let me be clear here. Yeah, Hassan Sheikh tried to pay the soldiers in the old-fashioned way of paying the top heads and the generals. No, let me finish. Basically, what would happen is he'd pay the top heads, and then the commanders would get paid, and then they'll pay the soldiers. So on the way down, some of the money would go missing due to corruption. So what would happen is it would never hit the soldiers who meant to pay for it. Yeah. So for Formaggio's one of his main thing was to build up the army. Yeah. His number one priority. Yeah. One of his priorities, anyways. Yeah.
It was not. And you know.
It was one of his priorities, security. How's in the British Shabab?
100% it was not.
So what was his aim? I can't hear you. Who? I can't hear you. No, I'm talking about Formaggio. His main aim was to build the army.
Oh yes, Formaggio was. You know, Abu Firi, as a country, let's be realistic. I think earlier you used I said far-fetched, but let's stick to that far-fetched example. You used a country like UK we have regulations and laws and yeah?
Yeah.
If today the United Kingdom gets attacked, who do they have? They're gonna
Hey, your mic, man.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah?
I don't think you hear me that well.
Okay, come back in. Your mic, man. So speak up, okay. Okay, man. He's
so
on
this guy said,
I'll tell you what, okay, listen to this.
Yeah.
Listen to this is what K is on.
Muhammad Abdullahi Formaggio. Adi habartii ku dhashay waa ku duceysay ma dhihi kari aniga. Duco la dhahay waa ku beegtay. Hallahan inteed naga jirtay. Hallahan inteed noogu maqneed. Hallahan ummadda maxaad noogu daysay. Haddii aqligaaga basaan asku shaqeynaayo. Maskaxdaada saan asku shaqeynaayo. Soomaalinimo basaan ay kugu jirto. Dayuusyaalkaa mar hore maxaad noogu qaba weysay. Dayuusyaalkaa mar hore intee jirta adiga. Intee ku maqneed. wax qabadkan iyo kartidan adoo leh dalkan oo maanta lisla yaaban yahay.
Yeah, okay, come through.
Yellow.
Yo.
Do you know what? Let me just answer this question. Cool. He's paying the army, and then everything is already done for him anyways regarding was it the training sessions with Turkey and stuff like that. Yeah, fine. So you build a stronger army that should result in more security, right?
Yeah.
But then have more people died, or how's security been? Because BBC reported on it, and then everyone is saying, all the analysts, that more people died during his term than any other president.
You okay?
Yo.
So speak up.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. All right, mashallah, tabarakallah. That's good. But bottom line is this. My question was this earlier. The far-fetched question is, if emerging countries like the United Kingdom...
Okay, your mic's doing it again, bro.
Yeah, I can't hear you, man.
Bro, have you got a laptop or anything? Have you got, like, please take off the
You got something next to you or something.
Take off the headsets. Can you put it on speaker? Try on speaker, loudspeaker or something if you can.
I think it's the headphones.
I don't know if it's the headphones. I don't know what it is. Because sometimes the guy speaks clearly, and sometimes he does this mad.
Yeah, what about now?
Can't speak in it.
Let's go. Go for it.
Well, I don't know. I will try my luck. If it's working, it works. At the end of the day, I believe in building your country's army. At the end of the day, you don't want to be relying on country arm or so on. You don't want to be relying all the time on United Nations. You want to be at one day in your lifetime independent, knowing that qofka ciidanka oo wadankaadi qof dagaaltamaayo ma jiro. Qof oo farka la haysto oo
K, I beg you, wallahi, it's fucked. It's fucked. K, wallahi, K, I beg you, come in and try something, wallahi, K. Please come in and try something, wallahi, it's fucked. Wallahi, tomorrow you regret hearing this. I'm gonna leave this up as well, innit, yeah? For all tomorrow in the evening, innit, so you guys can hear it, yeah? Wallahi, K, it's going crazy.
From the gist of it, he says basically the number one thing is to build the army anyways.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
From the gist of it, yeah. But then if say example, if the army was, say, just I'm hypothetical anyways, yeah. Just say the army increased by double the amount of people.
Yeah.
But then why is security dropping?
Because look, where's the army displaced? Because look, the other day, look, imagine a Shanghai, like I said to you, Shanghai Bamel Guta Galamia, and then outside them are wearing. Where are they? How can, like, the army can't hold the mission? Look at it, you get me? Then you got what's it called? Gerdo kicking off. You got this kicking off in a vast land. Do you get where I'm coming from? And how you got to remember how well equipped are they? The resources.
I get that. I get that. But
the
say example,
the
intelligence. But then why were terrorist attack dropping from Sharif's time? The 4 years, whatever the amount of time he had, and it dropped to Hassan Sheikh's time. In 2016, it was the lowest terrorist attack since 2009.
Yes,
one year before it was the lowest
Rodriguez.
amount. Huh? Yeah, sorry.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes. Alaikum assalam, my brother. Big up. Big up. My family in the building. Carry on, Ems.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, from Sharif's time, from 2009 and onward, to 2016, each year the amount of terrorist attacks were dropping, and it was the lowest it's ever been in 2000. The lowest has been since 2009 and 2016. But then when he came on the kursi, the amount of people who died from terrorism has risen like crazy. They get it. And then from 17, it had the biggest terror attack in Africa, of nearly 1,000 people dying. Basically, biggest terror attack in modern history, anyways. Yeah. and then the year after that is increased, and then it is increased again in 2019, and in 2020 there was a 30% increase from 2020 to 2019. So why, if you're more equipped than the previous two presidents, shouldn't the numbers be lower? Why is there an increase?
For
It
me,
depends where
go ahead, Max.
it depends.
Come through, Maxi.
Yeah, it depends how you're looking at it, because putting Al-Shabaab and terrorism to the side as well, there's also other issues that was arising from the other two presidency. Like during the Hassan Sheikh time, there was a big fight between the two states, Galmudug and Puntland. There was a constant infighting between clans.
Clan fighting always happens, man. It always happens, regardless of whose term it is. Clan fighting always happens.
No, it doesn't happen now though. During this Farmaajo's regime, I mean, the last time.
Well, what's going on in Belhawa? There's some clan fighting there, anyways.
Yeah, but initially, straight away, when that happens, straight away, they go in there, they go in between them, and they address the issue.
Look, there's still
the Somali troops will never be able to intervene or go in between two clashing clans.
Look, there was a clan fighting in basically between Puntland and Galmudug recently. It happened very recently, anyways. It always happens. It happened recently, anyways.
Yeah, but not as big like they used to happen before. Remember the one that happened before in Galmudug and Puntland, if you remember carefully, like even the Somali government was not able to stop it. It took a Ethiopian general to go there and stop it.
Yeah, because the difference is over there, they've been having clan disputes for a very long time. Because over there, between that border, there's two states, and then there's two clans who are fighting over cities. So usually across that line, you normally get fighting anyways. If you look at Galkayo as one city, they're separated between two clans and two regional states. Even if you look at Teleha, even the other side of Puntland, there's clan fighting there all the time as well.
Yeah, that's the other bit that the Somali government still hasn't been able to reach. Where it comes to Puntland,
there's been clan fighting there for like 100 years, mate.
No, but it's totally different compared to what Farmaajo's regime is doing and what Hassan Sheikh's regime or Sheikh Sharif's regime was doing. It's uncomparable.
Yeah, but here's the difference in Hamar. Who are dying to terrorism? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find you the thing in his ways, yeah. And then can you screen share it? SS.
Yeah, but you're saying Hassan Sheikh's time was basically less terrorism acts.
Yes, there was less. There was actually less terrorism. There was way less terrorism.
But half of the country was not even controlled by the Somali government at that time.
Yeah, but there was less people dying due to terrorism.
But see, right now they don't have much territories, where that's what it's taking them into this guerrilla fighting and bombs here and there. And then
but look, in Hamar, literally every 3 days there's a Garhes, bro.
See, the major one that you said that happened in October, yeah, is a lot of people spoke about it, saying that there's a proxy war going on in the country. Emirates
keep an eye on the news, anyways. Yeah, watch here. Every 3 days there's a terrorist attack, and
especially the last 18 months. I'm not even trying to. Again, I'm like Halima Ninja. We've been clashing on this. Since I've been doing this Walala, I've reported about literally. I've been on even speakers spoke about the October thing. I spoke about nearly 11 to 15. 15 to 11, and I've been doing this for nearly 18 months to 19 months. That's like one each month.
Yeah, but it's quite common.
Even Shangali the other day, Shangali as well. Like it's, there is something weird going. Like I said again, I'm looking at it from. I'm trying to look at it from a northerner's perspective. Everyone else, there is a madness going on around these regions there, fam. Even the other day, where there's the two Dagal, like with Shangali and plus Hagalugu Dagal. Where is it? It was near Galmudug. It was near Galmudug, innit?
Oh, oh yeah, no, it was near Mogadishu. It was like 60
It was near
kilometers from Mogadishu.
Yeah.
It was a town, I think it's called I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't remember it. It's
Oh yeah. I played with it.
BARRE.
Yeah.
And then
So at the same time, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking to myself, okay, how can I want to here? How stretched is the Somali Eden then?
How
So the
strong
other
is the
day, Dapper
Somali?
not putting the hangout as well. With tanks, they got a lot of equipment that came through. What is it? Is it intelligence? Is it the know-how? Is these guys are spread? I just don't get it with these guys.
See me when it comes to security. I believe the security can be achieved when everyone is working together. Like everyone. Like I'm talking about the states, the federal government. When that is achieved, when that's been achieved, then
yeah, but Maxi.
Yeah.
Sorry, Maxi. Yeah, but these states have less terrorism attacks than the place with the federal government.
But
if
I
you look
believe
at Puntland, there's less terrorist attacks there, and there's less terrorist attacks in a lot of these other places, even in Jubaland.
But I also believe there are sanctuaries to these terrorist people, to these people that are actually committing these terrorism acts. They all go back to reside in there.
But here's the thing is though.
This is the thing, because as long as they're going to be a sanctuary to it, and they're not going to try to weed them out, they're always going to be able to launch attacks from all these places. Like they're definitely not launching attacks from Mogadishu.
Yeah, but
from
look,
elsewhere.
Rodriguez, look, here's the problem with Hamar, yeah? Al Shabaab can go from anywhere. If he can travel from, say, just say Kenya, NFD or whatever, innit?
Yeah.
He could go from the NFD, travel all the way to Hamar, nobody asks him nothing, and go blow up himself in Hamar.
Yeah.
It's the only place where people are just open free. Do you
know what it
understand?
is? Hamar is the target because it's the place where mesh Ottawa.
No, but there's so many other places, man. There's so many. Here's the thing:
they're not getting as much impact as they're gonna get.
But then here's the thing: is they pass all these other places to blow up Hamar, and then other places, anyways. Basically, mainly Hamar. The reason is it's open. They let everybody in. They don't check nobody like that. Do you get it?
Ems,
I don't know.
From being a Mogadishu native, Ems, how does that make you feel?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, my people need to slap. I'm not gonna lie to you. They need to slap and get woken up. I'm from Hamar. I'm telling you, people need to slap. They need to actually control who's coming in and out of that city. Because I've seen other places. I've been Hargeisa, and I've seen how they do it. Over there is just every Tom, Dick, and Harry. No, Kale, come free so welcome.
Mogadishu is about 6-7 million, maybe 6. Hargeisa is only about 1.5 million.
Mogadishu is like 2.5-3 million, bruv.
Yeah, this is
2.5.
It's like 3 million or something close to that.
Yeah.
It's like 2.5 to 3 million. Or
what's the main difference with
this guy's trying to say 7 million. This guy's smoking crack, bruv. Dapper Khaled.
But listen, what would you say the main difference is? Because I haven't been to Mogadishu. I've never seen the Willigan down one side.
Nah, do you know what it is? Yeah, I don't know. Main thing I think is just really is the fact that they're trying to house everybody without even really a check or anything like that.
But then again, it's Asmat though.
I don't know, man. I don't know. They need to reevaluate something. I don't know.
The main issue.
Matt Rodriguez, come through, bro.
Yeah, the main issue for Mogadishu is basically, especially or mainly Somali government, is there's no chain of command. See, all these things that's happening, like you're telling me people come through checkpoints and go through. It's easy for people to come in as Mogadishu. It's because when Hafiska chain of command, when someone is in position in the office, in Hargeisa, for example, that person is not going to be wheeled down. It's not going to someone's not going to come down because of tribe and things like that, and someone's going to slide it down or roadblocks, or I've seen it because in this show it happens quite often. There's people there, that are undermining the government.
It was like the Elite Hotel, the Elite Hotel, Hafiska Elite Hotel. That was the craziest one. Like to get to the place, you need to go through 5 checkpoints. How the fuck did they do that?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
perfect
but
example. Go ahead,
the main
Mac
reason the
Rodriguez.
person be able to do that, the main reason the person can be able to do that is because of tribal connections, or you know, this is the main thing. Like, there's no chain of command. There's no skeleton bane maturito. Yeah, there's no person that's gonna be there thinking, no, actually, I'm doing my job. I don't care if so and so and so and so, or hebel like so or shakala is here. You know, like for example, Hassan Sheikh and Sheikh Sharif and them, they've got people that they've given position in the in government that are still there. Now these people owe favors to these guys. So anytime anyone from these people hollers at them and tells them, yo, I need this thing for me, they'll be able to get it done. I know of stories of people or Somali children or lost been Somalia or Europe children or English
So are you saying what are they bringing Shabab? The Hassan Sheikh Sharif and that.
See, this is the thing. Like, they're not on also been a yan, but because of this thing that is, you know, like Kenya goes through this mad corruptions in it where people just but with Somalia is witchy. You know what I'm saying? There's no one's gonna question you. You might be Al-Shabaab, but because you're coming from so and so's family and you've been recommended by so and so, you'll get what you want.
Yeah, but that happens with this current regime and any other ones, anyways.
But
it's normal.
You know,
it happens. It happens. Do you think that doesn't happen now, where Hibil is not sorted out of a job?
But this is what I'm saying. This is the thing within the Somali society is entrenched, especially in Mogadishu and Somali government.
It happens ever above. Let me tell you now. I've got family, who's in positions in Somaliland. If I wanted to, I could get a position myself.
Yeah, but do you have issues?
Do you understand?
Do you have that issues?
No, but here's different. You're saying Hibil is given a job anyways, yeah?
No, but
that's a complete.
I'm trying to give you like a wider spectrum. This is what is going on. As long as something like that is still going on, there's not going to be no.
These guys, who've blown themselves up, they don't have a big time job.
No, they have connections. They got family connections. They got people. Or Kabil, or okay, for example, had say for somebody So for example, wuxuu soo marayaa mid abtigiisa oo mid adeerkiisa oo mid oo heelkiisa or 3-4 people down the line that's going to enable him to get access to where he wants to go to.
Jimmy should say. So some people obviously that are mad about, oh, this guy's negative. Would you want me to sugarcoat Garhis for you or something? Like,
this is the thing. A lot of people really want that.
They want me to beat the chest and say we're the greatest nation on the planet.
Ilmi's in Mogadishu right now. Ilmi's in Mogadishu. Go on, Rad. Come through and then.
Ilmi, I've got a question. I've got a question regarding taxes and the visa system in Somalia. How do you think Hargeisa and Mogadishu differ when it comes to, like, in terms of the south and the north when it comes to tax collection and distributing the wealth when it comes to taxes and investment? And second, do you think Somalia should abolish the visa on arrival system? Because I was in Hargeisa last year and I've seen some passport holders from the south paying a visa on arrival in Hargeisa. Is that kind of weird?
I've never been to Hargeisa and I don't know the system, so I cannot speak on that system. But in
but what I'm trying to say to you is, like, the different, like, if you go to Hargeisa now, Mogadishu, they take your photo and they take your fingerprints. You know what's even weird? They never used to ask this before. They ask for your telephone number. And for foreigners, I think they even ask foreigners for an invitation visa. But what I'm trying to say is, do you think Somalia as a whole should abolish the visa on arrival system? If you want to get a visa, you have to go to Safarada, because any Tom, Dick and Harry can come into Wadanka. I'll give an example. There was this Russian guy who came to Somalia, Mogadishu. He made a documentary recently.
We all seen that.
I watched it. He's a bastard, Millions of Somalis got pissed off, and he had to fucking delete that video. Can you believe that?
I've seen it.
How can you just let any Tom, Dick, and Harry come to your country as long as he pays $60 or $70? You don't see that in other countries, maybe in Sri Lanka and that.
But you cannot say to a person, no, but a person who comes to your country.
How you gonna look? Say if Somalia, well, inshallah, you get back, you hear on the whole peninsula. Tourism, So you know about tourism, that is an industry, and we're sitting on one of the most beautiful sea coasts in the world. And you know how much if we got our shit together, tourism will be booming. So
Yeah, but
we
we're
talking
far
about.
away from that.
We're far away. I know Rodriguez, but I'm just long run. Because Rad's a very nationalistic guy. Actually, maybe wouldn't come Allah. You get I'm from Rodriguez.
No,
Yeah, I
Rad's
know.
got a point though with he made a great point with the whole visa stuff like that, because usually
I
some
didn't see
countries
the
do
YouTube video. What did this guy do in the YouTube video? I didn't see it.
Yeah, but to be honest, I think he's free to diss the place anyways. Like,
He
come
can
on.
say whatever he wants to
No,
say. Me,
but
I don't even think it was wrong for him to say what he said anyway. And I can't
Yeah, I
stick
know,
nah,
because he was going around
nah.
saying, "Yo, this is a bum site," but I don't really care because I'm like, he's
Mm,
free to diss the people. Because like,
mm.
would
No,
you
but
really want him to say in it?
Yeah, there's
he
nothing
can say
Free
what
to
he
say what he's
wants.
to
saying.
be honest. Yeah.
No, he can say what he wants, but we also have the right to diss his ass. But but the
Yeah,
way
simple.
the way he was talking was too disrespectful. For instance, he was at Elite the hotel, and next to the Elite hotel is a building that is a little bit destroyed. Instead
Yeah.
of say, and he said all the buildings in Somalia in Mogadishu look like this building. I'm like,
Yeah, he was
what?
taking a mic. He was taking a
He's
crap in there. He was taking a mic.
he's in a
Taking a
hotel
mic.
that's quite beautiful, and he's saying that that the building next to it is like every other building in Hamar, while there's a
Nah,
14-story
but the
high
guys,
hotel
broski,
next to it.
I know. I'm not trying to condemn that, but we really need to,
With it's
the infrastructure. We need to
it's
keep it
Yeah.
up, because in the,
it's true.
Megalo,
Yeah.
like Mogadishu is a beautiful city. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think
But it's like
sometimes.
it's two cities to be honest, isn't it? You got the rich
Is
city
it-
on this side, and then you got the poor on this side.
Yeah.
And
To be honest with you, the way I see it, yeah,
Nah.
the way I see it, yeah, I think it would be more harmful if he was lying to us and then telling
Yeah,
us
it's
some
not.
sweet lies to put us to sleep in it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's way more
The
harmful,
truth.
anyways.
You
It's
really
like,
say the truth. Do you think that waxa lili Soomaalida runta ma diidaan way ka naxaan?
yeah, runta ka naxaan, innit? That's the issue. Because like,
Mate, what I'm
if
trying to
you're
say to
a
you
mess,
is,
yeah,
hey, Emma, what I'm trying to say to you is, why was he, I just didn't like it, why did he not show both sides of the city? Just like you got Mumbai, you got the millions of the poor, then you got the new buildings. Why did he not
but
show both sides?
the
You only
point
showed the
is,
negative
you have
side.
no control what people
Not a
do
fair
on their
aspect
platform
of it.
and what they say with their mouth, innit? Yeah, he could say whatever lie he wants to make or whatever rubbish. You can't control him, innit? You can't control everybody. Because I've been when I've been to Somalia, I see like skinheads on the plane with tattoos and that. They're wilding out because the planes Ethiopians are flying in the maze. They're being rude to it. They hate Islam. They hate Molo people, but they're going to Africa, and then they're complaining about how many Molo people there are in Africa. Come on, you're gonna get stupid people like that all the time.
Yeah, but what you're trying to show as well is the potential we've got, and well, quite
Yeah,
hard, innit?
we've got mad
The
potential.
potential we've got is massive, isn't it? Yeah.
Bruv, you forget. You know why you're watching a video like him? You go into Somali entrepreneurs enterprise or something, man. Where it shows you the future booming thing, man. Come on, fuck that guy, fam. That's one guy.
No. Don't give him clicks, bro. Don't give these people clicks, bro.
This is one problem, bro. I told you, I don't know who I spoke to this about this YouTube. Somali, if you click something, Somali something, it's clickbait for actually everyone. A lot of people clock me. You get mad.
You know what it is? You know what it
If
is?
you're
It's
Ashinabi and you put something Somali in your clickbait, boom. Well, there's a guy
But you
called
know-
Sam Somali, Lagbu Nagasemester, up to you. I don't know.
Let's take it. There's more Milo guys. Look, there's more rappers here who are non-Somali speaking Somali, making more money than Somalis.
Yeah, I've seen that. We don't own the industry.
Yeah, we didn't. They make more money off us, off Somali.
What do you lot think of like Somali words being like used by? Do you like feel disgusted and uncomfortable with
What's
no
your
Somalis
language?
using?
To be honest, the pack that I don't like is the secret's out, innit? That's what I don't like. So it's like
Nah, for me,
it's not
I'll
a
tell you the
secret. It's
truth.
not my secret anymore, innit?
There's a 50-50 in it. Yeah, I feel like if we own our own material, I love it.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from? Like if we
But see,
start
what I
owning
don't
our
understand
own
is
industry, you
Somalis
get me?
have
Like
got
you know
the
how
right
there was Afro beats here, Wahan, we're not owning it. This is the problem.
But
They own their own thing, innit?
Go
Basically,
ahead, Rodriguez.
Afrobeats,
Let
boom, they're
Rodriguez
going
come
up.
through.
One
Brothers,
second,
let
there's one
Rodriguez
thing I
come
don't
through.
understand. Like we've got large numbers of Somali, large numbers of entrepreneurs, like the millionaires as well, like big in the telecommunications and like Hormuz, for example. But what do they offer back to their country? Like, waddanka qofka dadka toosin lahaa ma arkana dadkaas oo kale waa entrepreneurs, millionaires, billionaires. But what they do is like they just rinsing the country.
But say if there's no incentive. Say if there's no incentive.
Yeah. Like, for example,
Rodriguez, there's plenty of opportunities in Somalia.
No, there's the woman. No, because Rodriguez is right, yeah. There's the woman Amina. She built her sugar factory in Uganda.
Yeah.
You get where I'm
No,
from?
I'm talking about these major companies that have got monopoly of a lot of businesses in
For
Somalia.
example, people have invested. Can I give an example? In Hargeisa, if you go all over Somalia, there's Has Petroleum. They're building bare filling stations across Somalia, and they're based in Uganda. And guess who owns it? Somalis. Have you not heard of Has Petroleum?
Individuals, yeah, but see this major company.
That's a company. It's all over Somalia, though.
I'm talking about this.
I know about Has.
The company.
But they're based in Uganda.
Yeah, Nindul Bahantaskele.
Which one?
And he's based in Has Petroleum.
Okay.
And he's like, he's
Like, for
dominant.
example,
You know the petrol game over there.
Yeah.
It's like, you know BP. You know how BP is.
Yeah.
There's like a franchise, you know, of Has Petroleum all over, like, you know, all over. I don't know, from Bula, you know, it's like Has, and it's a shirkat. Well, the people own. But what, Rodriguez, when you say the invest back, what do you mean, though, brother? I want to hear that.
What key sectors?
They're raking the money.
Like Rodriguez. Sorry to interrupt, Walalia, but you know, in Somalia, right? Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities. You could even become a billionaire there, man. Like in Somalia.
I'm not got
There's many sectors. You could open a pharmaceutical factory. You could open a soft drink factory, a steel factory, all sorts of businesses.
Yeah, but I understand that you can do that. So say, for example, now, see Bajaj now, yeah? Say I wanted to send a couple of Bajajes to Mogadishu, yeah? I will not be able to make money from it because big companies like Hormuz has got a monopoly on it. They're bringing in thousands of Bajaj and all working for them. So you rather buy from them than, let's say, for example, you come up with the idea of doing a fishing industry. Already Hormuz is doing that. Like there's no opportunities into breaking into the bigger things like that because these companies they've got a monopoly on it.
Okay, because you know what it is? I understand where you're coming from. Rodriguez, you're coming from small businesses build countries.
Yeah. Not only that,
like SMEs, small, medium-sized businesses. I've got
small,
a
medium-sized
question
businesses.
I've got a question for you lot regarding the private sector. You know what's the funny thing about Ethiopia and Somalia? If you go to Ethiopia, everything is state-owned. If you go to Somalia, everything from the banks, manufacturing, everything is privately owned in Somalia. Like I even asked a couple of Somalis in Makayada and Somalia about this. They all said that they dislike state-owned.
So this is what I said. But this is what I said. State owned. You know when Somalia thrived at its golden ages? I've got videos. Is when it was state owned. Would you try to bring some type of
you're talking about the socialism thing, communism?
No, I'm talking about the way Botswana. Like I beg you, go watch a video about Botswana. Watch the way they focus, watch how they focus trade. Somalia like that, where you nationalize 80% of resources, but 80% comes back to the water part and 20% leaves. You know where I'm from? In such a wicked way. The way they did it.
Do you think Hormuz is listening into the country?
Well, Hormuz, yeah, it does, man. Hormuz donated to hospitals regarding COVID-19. They know they need a lot of money, anyways. These companies like Dahabshil, Telesom, Hormuz, they actually contribute a lot towards the country.
What are you talking about? Infrastructure.
Do you think Somalia is better off under private sector thriving or the state owned? Because
I think to be honest, I think it's better private sector because Somalia can't do state owned because they're too corrupt. So it'll be
for example, imagine if Somalia, imagine if the country didn't collapse, right? Yeah. Imagine let's call this the bank. Somali International Bank, state-owned bank. Imagine if you're far from Europe and your family puts you in that position, and it's like 10 billion in the bank. Imagine if 2 billion in Labasate.
Yeah, no. To be honest with you, when it was state-owned, it was corrupt. Because to be honest with you, the state would instead of because there was a report anyways, yeah, where the old government, Cyber government, where he would decide to import certain foods due to not buying off farmers of tribes he didn't like. So
It was
he'd
very
rather
corrupt.
import it. Huh?
It was corrupt back then, of course.
Yeah, so
There was
basically it was state-owned. So imagine that. He would rather import food than deal with another tribe that he didn't like.
not even that. I also heard
Yeah.
they also. Oh, it was one of my uncles. He said to me that his car was taken from him by a person who was within the regime because he said, "I liked your car."
Ah,
That's
yeah,
messed up.
yeah, that's mad, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
mad.
so he pulled out his car.
To be honest, obviously, even people's land was given away to
Yeah.
certain
Can I
people
share a
anyway.
story?
So it was like it was state owned, but it was like corruption was unlimited.
Not everything was state owned. There were factories
but
in
see
Hamar that were
currently,
privately owned.
yeah, but see currently, yeah, is there not an incentive for these companies for Somalia not to be a
It's
functioning
not,
government?
no, because the difference is these
They
companies can
pay
basically, if
tax.
the
They pay a
country
lot.
it was what? Sorry, go on. If the
Do
country
they
was
pay tax?
stable,
Yeah,
to be honest with you, look, these businesses,
yeah.
I don't know about all of them, but they do pay taxes. So there is a business tax within Hamar. Maybe not other
Yes.
places, but
But this
then
is a,
these
this
companies, if the country was stable, they
yeah,
would be able to provide services for the whole country, even
and then
areas owned by other entities, like terrorist
yeah,
entities.
and then they'll be paying more
But
taxes as well.
what do you think of like taxes? Imagine if Somalia never collapsed. Like, what region do you think would pay the most tax, and which region wouldn't pay the less tax? Because you'd have those people that are making loads of money but would not want to pay taxes or want to pay less taxes.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But
The regions, probably the regions with the most people would pay the
Hey,
most taxes.
give Rodriguez a chance, but he
Yeah,
cannot
sorry,
put
yeah.
a word
Go
in.
on,
no,
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
go on. I was just listening.
Go on. No, because he asked a question in it, and then obviously he said, "Well, your question was that these
Are they paying?
companies wouldn't it
Yeah,
thrive?"
it would be an incentive for them basically now for the country not to have a fully functioning government. That which means they'll be paying more than what they're paying now.
Yeah, and I disagree with that. Because I'll
But
send
what
you
do you
that.
think? What about foreign?
Like you
What do you
can't
think of like
disagree
foreign
without
like
knowing the ins
airlines
and outs.
like entering the market and banking?
Yeah, stable country. It depends on the government, isn't it? For example,
I'll say it's
if
only right then. How else? This is the challenges of a failed nation, isn't it? See
Yeah,
how
but
what we're
look, for,
talking, Umakal. People who
yeah,
develop nations will never have these type of conversations.
yeah,
People capitalizing the out of the order. It's kind of crazy, don't you think? From once upon
yeah.
a
But
time where there was Somali Airlines.
yeah, the other question I wanted to ask as well: who does basically the Somali government? Who does they use when it comes to the banking system? When they obviously use Hormuz, innit? This is how they pay themselves and the government's officials and everyone.
It has a central bank, but it used the pay system of Salam Bank.
If that's what I'm saying, yeah.
What about
And
that chill?
the telecommunication as well.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
Phone
Hormuz.
calls, SIM cards, everything.
So you're saying them
Yeah.
are controlling everything, the whole market.
The
They
whole
can
thing.
shut down
I believe
everyone's.
yeah, and I believe if they wanted Somalia to be stable, they can do it.
But you need to understand, Hormuz Telecom,
Not only
49% of it is owned by individuals, not owned by. It's owned by everybody.
it's one
It's
entity.
you can buy shares.
It's
You
basically
can buy shares of Hormuz.
From my understanding, I don't know if it's died or whatever. I understand it's one
Yeah.
of one family, one guy and his cousins, and they've
He
got a
owns
board.
51%. Yes. Of course, he started the
money,
company.
and how he got the money is basically he waited for the storm to die out, and he waited for the money to be. So what was he like? His money was frozen by the September 11 issues. After that, with the main company, which was Al Barakat or something. And
yeah,
then,
Al Barakat, yeah, and he had other businesses.
And then
But Hormuz wasn't frozen.
No, that's
Nah, but to be honest, Hormuz wasn't frozen. Al Barakat was in it, And then,
يزحمنوه
to be
على
honest with
الجماعة.
you, I don't get you though, but it's like, why are you putting so much importance on one privately owned company that provides the cheapest internet services on the planet? Like,
No. You gotta look. You gotta look at the profit they're making. Then you gotta understand them.
But they have the
and
capital.
they're not only just a telecommunication. They are basically everything. Socorta, Alenta, Spoda.
yeah,
Yes.
but they're a massive company. That's if you think they got a monopoly, that's corporate laws anyways. But that's like civil societies deal with.
But we don't have no corporate laws because we don't have nothing functioning yet.
Yeah, but these people, they provide services. Like if I want to send money back home, it would go through Abu Al-Khat and I can feed my family. So these people are essential.
No, fully. They've come off the back of the Somali people. You know, the Somali diaspora. Obviously, from them, that's how they made their money.
Yeah, but they have no responsibility. Say if you went to Somalia, you open up a CAF.
Okay, responsibility.
Yeah, responsibility. If you open a CAF, a businesses, yeah, and then you thrived off us, yeah. But it's your private business, is your hard-earned, your back-breaking work that you did. You don't owe nobody nothing.
That's exactly what we're getting there. So they're no saints basically, and they are thriving off this, and is going to be disadvantage to them if there was a stable government.
If there was a stable government, if a stable country, they can function outside of Hamar and be everywhere. So they have a lot more user base and customers.
Yeah,
you get it. So if for them it would be beneficial if it's stable.
Yeah, with the profit that they make. Yeah, because I'm saying with the profits that they're making now, it will not be able to be conceivable if there was a stable government. Because obviously
no, but look, if there's a stable government, they'll be making a lot more than they're making now.
They'll be bidding.
Look, what I'm telling you, if there's a stable government, they'll be making a lot more money than they're making now.
We would be making a lot. Yeah, we'll be making a lot of money. Yes,
Hormuz would be making more money if it's stable.
Because they'll be also dealing with all the oil enterprise and all the other stuff that be coming out of the country, all the other stuff that the country resources.
Why would they be involved in oil unless the country gives them a contract for it?
If the country
Why wouldn't
stable,
they?
Right now, they can make the country stable. Their money and what they're making from the country, they can put that back into the country and make it stable and make sure they can give more money.
It's privately owned. Listen, but it's privately owned.
Yeah.
It's not an individual. There are thousands of people who own shares in this company. So
Here's the thing: is they only owe the shareholders. That's it. They don't owe nobody else nothing.
Yeah, but see, when we speak like that, then we can't say they're not a hinder to what's going to Somalia progressing.
Okay, so if you're going to come for Hormuz, you're going to come for every single business, the tea shop, the hotel, every guy at a Bajaj.
The main companies that basically are how I call it like that basically holding
the biggest
monopoly a lot of industries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing in Somalia.
I get it. They shouldn't. If they do have a monopoly, they shouldn't have a monopoly or whatever. Anyways, they should obviously put regulations in place. But to me, it sounds like you're saying they're benefiting off the lack of stable government or in the country.
100%. That's my point. 100%.
But then listen to me. Here's your point where it doesn't make sense. Yeah, they operate mainly in Hamar. They've got some mosques which are burned down by Shabab and so on, and any communication hubs and stuff like that. Yeah, if the entire country was open to them, they would be able to go everywhere to Samarem. They'll be able to go
everywhere.
They could go Duwayni. They go everywhere. No, some places they're not. They're not. Some places they're not, bro. They're not in east of Galmudug.
Of course they are. What do you think?
Some Shabab areas that don't have that.
Listen, what telecommunication do they use? Do you think?
What else do they have? They have banks in it, Al Barakat and banks and stuff like that.
Everything, yes.
Nee,
they've got.
det är Osmanen. Kolla i hatta.
Yeah, I know. They're no, no. I think some other ones there, Premier Bank and that.
No, Dar Salam is built by this there are houses that they built, but they are selling it off. It's not like they own it.
Well,
They're not
it's
keeping the
theirs.
equity.
It's theirs. There was a guy that was killed because of that as well, which was one of the main guys that got that Lucas Kalaha.
Well, I'm not here to criticize what they're doing, but if you would have the capital, you would also done the same. So,
but that's the thing, though. We can't.
They're a
say
private
well done
company, bruv. Like, to me, it just sounds like we're attacking private companies now. Like, Somalia needs loads of
We're not
very
occupied.
successful
No,
companies.
we need them. We need them, but they need to be also part of the plan to make the country back on its feet. They shouldn't be a hinder to us. They should not be the ones that we.
They're not actually a hinder if they're providing cheap internet service. They're providing people with easy access to education.
Access to
employing
what, to what
10,000
extent, to how we gonna go past
employing
this?
thousands of people.
Yeah, they're employing people, big, massive employer. They pay
Yeah.
taxes,
Yeah.
and then obviously they provide very cheap internet where young people are able to educate themselves using the internet service.
No, I'm not denying any of that.
Do you
I'm saying
understand?
they've
Like,
got-
you're telling me they provide the cheapest internet service on the planet. You do know that?
I know that.
Not the
Yes.
planet, but
But
I
they
think in Africa.
provide one of the most cheapest
I don't
internet
think Pakistan
services.
has got
Yes.
the cheapest internet. Yeah.
One
Well,
of
I
the
was
yeah,
calling
one
it
of the. It's quite cheap, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm using it
so
right now.
you're using it right now, yeah.
Exactly.
But my argument is that they can be a more to basically helpful or positively bring the country back to the ways. I believe they are probably
They donated towards COVID. Was it hospitals? Anyways, regarding gas, getting gas masks and stuff like that. Anyways, for people. Same thing Dahab Shield did as well.
No,
Huh?
it's a small fraction to what they've.
Yeah, but they don't have to do that.
given
That's the
up
thing.
to
They don't have to do these type of things.
Exactly. To me, I don't see that. I don't see the moral right to say that they don't have to when they're making it. For the people.
Okay. Let me ask you this: Where have you seen
And we
Amazon?
all-
No,
we're all talking about
even in Western countries.
Who?
When do you
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
Amazon giving out masks? Where have you seen
Are we gonna
Microsoft
compare
giving out
ourselves
things?
to Amazon now? Look,
No,
look what-
but
Yeah, it's same
but
thing. They're
no,
companies. They're
it's the
private
same.
companies.
How is
Same.
comparing ourselves to
Ah,
Amazon or
Amazon's got
or-
monopoly. It's the same thing, man. Look,
No, but
Yes.
look what
Amazon.
we're about now. We're talking about
You look-
Somalia putting it back on its feet. Yeah,
Ah,
it's got a lot of issues. There's bare things to be
صح.
done for it. وحصلنا له
Yeah.
بهنية. And then you're talking about a country that's making multi-million dollars and it's giving a little fraction to it. And you're
Yeah,
saying they
but
don't have
Amazon operates in a lot of countries, and this country's been ravaged by COVID-19. And then
No,
you
but
don't see these companies. You don't see like if there's COVID-19 or pandemic or some sort of issue, you don't see people saying, "Oh, what's Amazon doing? What's McDonald's doing?
Yeah, whatever they are, though, the last 30 years,
what's
we've been in
Microsoft doing?"
instability. We can't compare any country to Somalia, to be honest. Like, we've been without a government for the last 30 years.
Here's the thing is, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
these guys, these companies, private companies, Hormudia, gets paid to provide a service. The service they provide is the ISP service, which is internet providing service. They don't get paid to provide you for security. They don't get paid to provide you for other things.
Mhm.
You get it?
They can, though. Look, Al Shabaab uses
No, but
them.
you're
Al
paying
Shabaab
the
uses
government
them.
for that.
Look,
This is you're
no,
paying
but
the government. You're paying taxes for the government to provide you these essential services. These private companies, if you go buy a router from them, they have to make sure the router works and is in good condition and is easy to use.
I think this conversation is heading nowhere. Let's
No,
Yeah, I
switch
know, I
to-
know.
You know,
It's
I
not-
was
it
about to
sounds-
say one point. I was going to say,
Okay,
I
yeah.
believe the
Go
Amazon
on.
guy gives more. I believe the Amazon guy gives more in charity than Hormuz or any other Somalian
Bruv,
telecommunication.
Amazon guy is so rich. He's
or
one
his
rich
wife,
person on
or
the
his
planet.
wife, or his ex-wife. You know what I mean? But this
The
guy,
the company's worth over $1 trillion, bro. How you can't even compare them? He gives more money.
bro,
There's different. No, Amazon don't even
There are
pay
millions-
taxes.
There are millionaires and billionaires.
Amazon
Really?
don't pay taxes though.
listen, we can't scrutinize these
Rodriguez,
people as we want to, yeah. Because like these guys, they get scrutinized because they got these laws and how this financials can be checked with what they're earning. But this
Yeah, but look,
fellas here, no one
Rodriguez,
can know how much they're making. You know what I'm
but
saying?
but
they
it's none of
pay.
your business how much you're making.
Listen, Rodriguez, the
Yeah.
company gives out, I think, annually 25% in dividends. So investor could lie. They pay out good money.
And
Yeah,
and
buy
what
some
Hormuz?
shares or something.
Yeah,
Buy some
Hormuz.
shares or something.
Yeah, invest 100K, you will make at least 20, 25.
I've got other suspicions of them, or like, to be honest, because
But
I
look,
think they're
brother,
paying
what you're
both
saying
sides.
is very dangerous. Do you know what is very dangerous? It's
Yeah.
basically like is you're attacking any successful businesses within the country. So if you're attacking the very few successful businesses that we have, then we have nothing.
Mm.
Do you understand?
All right, cool. Are you gonna use your
If we got rid of
me?
Hormuz today,
I try.
if you got rid of Hormuz today, I guarantee you the country would
I'm not.
lose
I'm not.
would lose the services that they provide. They would lose the money, the
Yeah.
taxation they get from it.
I'm not going. I'm
And
not advocating to
employment.
get rid of them. Anything like that. I'm not.
Yeah, the
I
employment.
just want them to change. No, I'm not. I'm not trying. I'm not at all advocating to get rid of them or anything like that. But I think they need to change the way they're going on with things. And this is the other thing I wanted to
Of
ask you as well.
course.
Because I was gonna say, let's ask each other common sense question here. Yeah, you know, like they control all the telecommunication. Yeah, and we know Al Shabaab
Yeah.
uses this EVC and this and that. You know, and how to
Yes.
send money and all. They use them. They use their services basically to funnel money towards
Yes.
Yeah.
you know. But do they do enough to try to stop that or even tackle
Yeah,
that?
they should do more though. Yeah, maybe the government should push them
That's the
to give
government's work. It's
to give
their
more
place.
information in it.
Yeah,
They should
but
be
even
getting
morally,
them.
even them morally, they should not be. Morally,
Yeah, but
shouldn't
that would
they
be
do?
illegal if they start tapping people's basically conversations or their privacy. The government would have to basically give them like they should work with the government or government should contact them regarding that.
Which is not.
So
I don't see
do you
that's not
understand?
coming. It's not coming at all. It's not been. There's been 4 or 5 government stuff come. I think the governments are more scared of them.
But you can't ask them to be vigilantes. That's the thing is, if you're asking them to tackle Shabab, you ask them to be vigilantes.
I'm not. Listen, none of our critics here of attack or doing. It's just like I believe that there's more they could do towards the country. They can actually stop it. I don't want to say they can single-handedly stop to what's going on in Somalia. I believe they got a big say to it that the average Joe or the government itself. You get what I'm saying? Because they are a big entity.
I'm sure there's other big companies within Somalia, anyways, and there's going to be new ones in the future.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not saying
Do you get?
single-handedly Hormuz. I'm saying similar companies to them. Like I'm saying, but they're one of them. But there's more like them.
Well, they're like Carrefour Warehouse here or Talk or whatever. Anyways,
they'll be orange. Yeah, you get me. Yeah, there's so many.
they're similar to that.
Similar to
No, 100%, but they are the largest.
Yeah, of course.
But
was it? I think
Somalia.
market leaders. Market leaders.
Yeah, this is tricky because see me, I've kind of looked a bit about the background of the leaders. Yeah, like for example, the Ahmanur guy, you know, and how he, from the 80s, how he came up with this idea, him and a few other guys, you know, and they're all this type of group of guys. You get me? I don't want to label them, but they only bring each other in because of certain sect or certain beliefs that they follow, you know. And
But then it's a private company. They're free to do what they want to do. If you look at our in Somaliland, there's Dahab Shield. Dahab Shield do the same thing. They're the same as them. They're just an alternative. Or there's as well Telesom. There's Telesom and there's other companies.
Yes.
So
no, but Hormuz is also in
Hormuz,
Somaliland.
well, you gotta remember, Hormuz is from Taj. We just call it Zad.
Exactly. That's what
Yes.
I was
it's Taj
Same
basically.
company.
Is that? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But it's like Dahab Shield.
okay.
People say, "Yo, Dahab Shield needs to do more."
Yeah, but
The
Zach,
SS.
Harboon, this company
I'm
is
saying all of
bullying Dahabshili. You know, when it comes to telecommunications, there's
No, because
Telesom.
they
You know
provide better
Telesom.
services, I think.
And we call
SS.
Harmood, yeah. Harmood is called Telesom in Somaliland. It's called
Yeah.
it's
So,
called
yeah,
what's
yeah,
it called in
Somtel.
Puntland?
subsidiary companies. You're right.
Golis.
Yo, but
Golis,
Somali
it's
speakers.
Golis. It's called
Yeah.
Golis and it's called Harmood. It's the same
So
company.
Yeah.
Telesom is Harmood, right?
Telesom,
And Golis
Golis,
and Hamoud. Those three.
Harmood is
Okay,
the same
I went to
company.
Bur'a. When I was in Bur'a, yeah, my cousins, I was about to buy Somtel. My cousins told me, don't buy Somtel, buy Telesom. The reason
Yeah.
why they told me to buy Telesom, they have better internet.
And it's everyone's got it.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
And
people
everyone's got
have
it.
Telesom. People would be buying Somtel if Somtel had better internet connection, better speeds.
Nah, do you know
than
what it is? Yeah?
Telesom.
Whoever could fuck up the game is whoever could just make. You know how you could call any network. They need to
You
start
say?
doing that.
What do you say?
But Feri, SS.
Yeah.
Is
The
Telesom
GSM.
and Somtel larger? Which one is larger in Somaliland? Telesom or Somtel?
Telesom. When it comes
Yeah,
to
but
okay.
you look,
communications.
but
Because everyone
Telesom.
uses Zad, you know the Zad thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
And
Yeah.
my cousins right now, yeah, I send them like a fucking like little 30, 40 pounds on my phone
Touch.
buying Zad.
Yeah.
Or via
Hargeisa.
that. Okay.
Even when I'm in
Yeah.
Hargeisa as well, now you just use that. And I could use my Zad. I could use
Yeah.
it in
For phone.
Mogadishu, I could use it in Bosasa
Yeah.
as well. It's the same
Oh,
company,
but
just with different
but
names.
different
yeah,
names, yeah.
but did you not
Yeah.
call it just smart entrepreneurship instead of monopoly?
Bruv, they
Yeah.
just did a Ma'alim thing. They realized Qabiala don't know we just changed the name. Well, they did perfect entrepreneurism.
But then
Not only that,
it's them
Feri.
doing a good
I
job, though,
understand.
right?
Look, listen.
No.
I understand where Rodriguez is coming from. One company should not have a monopoly over every type of sector in Somalia. That
Here's-
should
No.
be. There should be
But they
regulations
have.
as well.
Yo,
But
but
they have
look,
You know,
Somali
capital.
speakers. People have a
Yeah.
choice to choose Somtel and to choose Telesom.
No,
People
forget
are
the Telesom.
choosing
I'm saying,
to
look.
choose Telesom.
If you're in the
no,
fishing
but if
cage,
you're talking about
you're dominating the
yeah,
market.
the other industries. Wallahi, I'm not fronting about that.
Yes.
You know, I got friends there. You know, like but the Bridget there, yeah. He said, look, I want to start off a local business. So he come up with the idea. So he wanted me to send him money to buy the motor bajaj from there. But I checked on Alibaba and I looked at it, I can get it for cheaper, much cheaper. With the shipping cost as well. So when I said I'd rather do that for you, he goes like, there's no even point. You get me? Like these lot are just gonna shut me down on the market because Mutwinko plus واحد شوشي Mutwinko ضد كشعبك وسود دقيقة ما بعقله. So they
No,
like that.
No, it's
But
not
like that,
owned by
yeah.
them. It's not owned by them directly. It's owned by a company that brings it, but they give the people credit. For instance, you pay half of the.
But all these
Now listen.
all these companies is subsidiary to them. If you follow everything, it's them. I got واحد نسكله. They've got their money to buy anything. You understand? Any little business anyone
Yeah.
comes up with, they come out at you because they got the investment.
Okay, but then you also need to understand it. This SS Hatafiri, but this company is a share base. You yourself can buy shares within a company, so everybody can buy it in. It's not privately owned. It's corporation wide. You can buy shares.
Yeah, but it's not hurting the common person that's trying to make something for it. If you're trying to close everything down for yourself like that, yeah, you're actually gonna hurt
for
the normal
instance,
person. Like,
for instance, they have the company called Beko. It's the electric company within Hamar. And the reason they are building infrastructure, they're building towers, electricity towers. They are building the place where produce electricity. They're putting so much money into the infrastructure.
Yeah. See the construction.
They're
They
building
got
a lot
the
of money.
construction as well. The construction.
Yeah, of course.
They got the construction.
Yes. Why would I pay another person if I can do it?
Yes. So there's so much revenue coming in for them, innit? So there's so much to give back compared to the little fraction they give to. You know what I'm saying? We got Turkish built hospitals and Turkish other foreign countries, but we don't have nothing from them.
Yeah, but do they have the money to fix the country completely? Do they have the money?
Yeah.
They do.
They don't have the money, bruv.
Oh my days!
Turkey is a big country.
We just talked about the whole businesses in Somalia. They literally control.
Bro, they have a business in Somalia. They're not like some $1 trillion company. And then what incentive do they have to build the whole country? Some businesses would build something anyways, like a road or something, innit?
Yeah,
That's
And they
really
have.
it.
yeah, but this company
They
right now,
have.
I'm not gonna lie
Yeah,
to
they
you.
have, innit?
Who's
Even
gonna
I'm
even
not gonna
look,
lie.
Somaliland. They have
No,
Shield,
but forget
Telesat,
that. I'm
they'll build
saying,
stuff.
forget that. I'm saying this company, the trajectory is going. Imagine when we get developed and all of that shit. It's
Yeah.
gonna be $1 trillion company. It's gonna have a monopoly, a stronghold.
100%. It will.
It
But
will.
there
I'm
will.
not
Yeah,
gonna
but
lie
then
to
if
you.
you look in the world,
Look,
yeah,
look.
5 companies own all the food things.
Yeah.
The movie industry is owned by just a very few companies. How many companies do Disney own? Microsoft own. In the tech industry, any company that comes up, Microsoft buy it, Facebook buys it, Google owns it. Any new
Regulations
competitor,
will come.
But
you look
Regulations will
you look
come.
at food. If you go to Europe, go shop, go Sainsbury's. Everything you go in there, 5 major food companies own it.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Regulation will
But
come.
this
How
is to
regulations?
what? Yeah, but
Do you understand? Like the monopoly happens
stable
everywhere,
country,
happening in the West and everything.
Yeah, but monopoly doesn't happen in stable, unstable countries. You know what I'm saying? When
Stable
that
countries.
happens, there's wrong things going on. You
It's
know what I'm saying?
especially happens is unstable countries because there's no one to
In
regulate
unstable
nothing.
countries,
There's no one to give
that
a
means
fines to for bad practices.
exactly. That's the thing I'm talking about. And then who's gonna have any incentive to help Somalians if you, as a company of Somalis, are not even thinking of helping the Somalis?
They are helping
Another thing I
Somalis
want to
though.
get back to.
They are helping
but it's
Somalis. They donated so much to COVID.
Yeah, the
They
fact
donated to hospitals.
Yeah,
They donated to build roads. If you look at these companies, they have Shield build roads. They build bridges as well. Telesom even build stuff as well.
See the examples I want to use the Habshil with, yeah. Like for example, you see Rwanda, yeah. Rwanda was built businessmen, or mainly Rwandan people, like mainly. Were the millionaires of the high classes or lacta estene. That's because I wouldn't call Solistan. But when it comes to Somalis, any can hurry like to be a Somali وكعررة. لعكس اسمه أقول حتى إنه وحكسوا بيه ووتقوا حتى يعني a lot of these people you see they're gonna do what? They're making millions and millions and billions for their families and themselves. Again. But all that money they can give it back to the charity, to the people, to the country, or even leave a legacy with it.
Okay, hold on. Look, I'm looking at Hormuz, yeah. Hormuz employs 20,000 Somalis. Is that not given back? That's only Hormuz. 20,000 Somalis employ.
Leave the employees alone. Let's go to the board members. Okay, the 7 people, say for example, in the board members of Hormuz, yeah, who are all kinship, yeah. How do you see and they are and they like to it is to be the mal they amassed over the years? Do you think that's
Yeah, but then is there a private owned company?
Okay. And
if you became successful, if they're a private owned company, if you became successful, do you owe me something?
I'll think that I'll rather give it back to my community and try to even leave my country. Well,
that's your choice, but you don't owe me nothing.
But it's a morality question. If you're making that much money,
but it's still, it's fine. But they do actually donate stuff. They actually do donate money. They donate recently.
Not only that, Ferry. Every
Rodriguez,
year.
I think Hormuz shouldn't step in where the government should be doing their job. I reckon the government and natural resources should be stepping in. I think if the government was to utilize its natural resources and give back to the people, so we could develop.
What would you think? What would you think if there was a government that comes and said, "Look, I'm going to try to put them on a leash now and try to get them in line"? But would you not think there'll be a conflict?
You're getting that money underneath, that table. Whatever guy you are, you're getting dropped money or you want to go delay. It's one of the two. It's one of the two, Runta.
Okay, listen. As the employees of Hormuz Telecom.
Well, it's either you get money or
yeah, but if you look at 20,000 people are able to feed their families.
Not only that. But not
we're consisting
every
of 20,000
year.
people. We're more than 20,000.
Yeah, they employ 20,000 people, Hormuz, and 45% of them are engineers as well. Firms, personals are engineers.
And not only
What's
that,
the population
every
of Somalia?
year they give the employees حتى at the end of the year commission. For instance, an employee who makes 500 a month at the end of the year gets a bonus of 3,000, 4,000. Every employee gets a bonus. Hey, isn't that the money given back to the people?
Yeah, but you're talking about what compared to the rest of the Somalis? It's like 20%.
But why are
And
you looking at
what's
the end of the rest of the
The
Somalis?
government, but this is what I'm coming from, Maxi.
Ah.
If the, like I'm saying, if the government was to utilize its natural resources and all of that, there's where the dollar comes in.
Yeah, but
to give back to the people, to infrastructure. I prefer the dollar to do that. I think, like, really truthfully, if you've earned your cross there, this family, they put in work, 20,000 people are hastening on to empower people. Because you can't go wrong. Maybe they should start sponsoring smaller businesses. I understand that. To give smaller businesses more chances, but
هذا محل
apart from
هذا
that,
هذا الريرك أو هرمود سكالة. You said not a one individual of their tribe is unemployed. That's a good thing, somehow.
yeah, that is
If
a
you
good
look
thing.
at if you look in that sense.
That's kind of a good thing, I like. Because
Yes,
you
good
got
thing,
that,
man.
you go.
Where's the equality in that, though?
But it's their private company. It's their private company, bro. If he made, hey, look, if Somali Speakers made his own company, yeah, he gets to employ whoever he wants. Is he?
No, but no, I understand where Max is coming from. Well, if it's a modern thing, yeah, you cannot. No, I see there has to be some type of.
No,
I'd rather
Khalid, but
employ
you
the best
understand.
people.
No, it's also, but you understand this. They pay حتى فيري. And if, for instance, I know persons who are getting paid the university degree was paid by Hormuz for them. They are getting paid the master's degree are getting paid by Hormuz, and then they get employed. So
that's good.
And not only that, for instance, حد معانا Galmudug ده added. The persons who is in charge of Galmudug is a person from Galmudug. The persons who are for Telesom in Somaliland, the majority of them are gonna be Waqooyi. It's not gonna be a person from Hamar going there.
My question is this, yeah. Look at this question, yeah. You're saying, in a sense, if they want to, they can make the country back to on his feet, and they can help out if they want to, which is their choice.
If the government can't do that and they get paid hundreds of millions to do that, how can a private company do that?
Yes.
They own the telecommunication, they control a lot of
They
things.
own telecommunication. There's a difference is they get paid to pay their engineers to provide a telecommunication service to people. They don't
To
have
the
an army.
shareholders.
They don't have an army. They don't have an international community. They're not the law. They don't have a police force.
The shareholders are expecting money.
Yeah, basically they have to provide they have to basically make more profit than they previously did to please their shareholders.
And not even that, the money that he's spending on a country. How are you going to tell your shareholders, I'm not going to give you money, but I'm going to put money, for instance, somewhere else?
They're going to go bankrupt, bro. Because they'll shut down next day, man.
My perception of them is totally different to one of yours.
No, of course, I can see it.
I see them as a mini state, but you don't see them as a company like that's employ 20,000 people, and I see them as a little mini state.
Where does the state operate?
Because I live in Hamar, I see the benefit of. I have friends who are working there. Three of the individuals who are that I know at least 10 individuals who work for them. All of them got paid. The university degree got paid for it. The master's degree got paid for it. Not only when I say master's degree, not in the country, they were sent to India, Malaysia, Turkey, and they got a master's degree.
Yeah, look,
and now they're employed.
400 cylinders of oxygen delivered to Mogadishu by Hormuz, and they donated 2,900 cylinders to hospitals to fight COVID-19. So 2,900 cylinders of gas regarding COVID-19. They don't have to do that.
They don't have to do
that. Man, I'm gonna quickly call it a night. But if you guys want to stay in the studio, stay. You guys
No, I
kick
want
back if you guys want
No,
to
no.
kick back. Yeah.
That's all right. It's all right.
Well, have a next work.
I mean, when I said, brother, nice
I
talking to
got
you.
work. I got
All right.
work
Yeah.
early in the morning.
Have a
Yeah,
nice
man.
one,
Catch you lot on
Rodriguez. Yeah.
Friday. I'm gonna organize a topic in a
Yeah,
bit.
inshallah.
Inshallah.
We'll probably do round 2 on Friday or something, man.
Okay. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum.
Nice.
Have a nice one, you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, guys, habeen wanaagsan, like I said. Anagii waa iyagii haddana fahmi doonaan haddana baran doonaan. You already know SS, the original best live stream Somali channel. You already know. I want to say something. I don't even know. I wanted to say something, but I totally forgot. Yeah. I got up that cat, man. Habeen wanaagsan, dad weynayaal. Habeen wanaagsan. Peace, y'all.